I think that was an intro. I'm not sure.
In a land without a name, where the deafening expectations of audiences across the entire world, there was one man who failed at making an intro. His name is...
Labas, Manovadas Tomas! Welcome to Lithuanian Pod Topic Podcast! How's it going, everyone? Welcome to number 007. Oh, brilliant. James Bond theme tune. Shit. On this podcast, we like to be extremely noisy. Very quiet at the same time. And make barnyard noises.
Bitch just stealing my bit now.
Get your hands off my bit, bitch!
So we take...
Alright.
Fucking let me introduce the fucking podcast!
No. Settle down, dickhead. Go on, Tom.
Jesus Christ.
Quiet, cunt.
On this podcast, we have the community writing topics, the hosts write topics, we put them all in a pot, draw them out at random, and bang, answer them, and make sure we try and talk for at least 2 hours about them.
It works sometimes.
Sometimes it works, most of the time we finish the whiskey before it gets to that point. But I'm your host, Tom, and with me I have other hosts, Kel.
Good evening.
Andy.
Hello.
Beth.
Hi.
Taryn.
I am a feminist, and that's why I don't wear makeup.
And we also have...
Field Marshal Frederick Fuck Fragrance.
And that's a fact.
And that's a
Fun fact. We like those the best. They're moist.
Right, so what's our whiskey tonight? I bought it, so I should fucking know, shouldn't I? Right, so it's Monkey Shoulder.
Woohoo!
Well, allow me to...
I have to say...
And Andy, do you want to get to drawing out a topic while I open up this little puffy?
Monkey Shoulder is a particularly
I'll try
pretty
my
bottle.
best.
It's lovely, lovely bottle.
It's a bottle with 3 monkeys on it. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, but it looks like it's
4
been
monkeys.
taken from some kind...
That's definitely 3 monkeys I'm looking at, Tom.
No, but I want 4 monkeys. That's what more I could ask for. Oh, the fuck off.
You're right, it should have 12 monkeys. It'd be even more confusing.
Are we
Here comes the pop.
rating the whiskey on how many monkeys? Oh, the nice pop.
I shall get to pouring.
We actually have this this Pot Topic podcast in... How many Ds would you imagine? Basically, we're having it filmed right now. I was going to say 4D, but that doesn't work because we're not spraying water
Double
at you
D.
whilst you're listening.
Although if you want to play along at home, a bottle of Evian works
Pot
best.
Topic podcast in double D.
Pot Topic podcast.
So quite nicely, the first topic is from D,
Double G.
and we're kicking off with what things do you get angry at that you shouldn't? E.g., massive rage for not being able to do a bit on a game, or angry people walking slowly.
Yeah, that's the classic one.
Yeah,
Buggies.
especially
Women with buggies getting in my way.
What right do they have to breed and get in my way?
You've seen some of them. They have
Oh,
no
it's
right.
just, the ones with buggies, they just need to stay away from rush hour.
Well, this is the problem. Yeah.
Or just play in the middle of it.
Isn't that weird? I end up being the complete polar opposite of that because I'm the difficult person that will then stop in front of it and make sure that I help the person with the buggy because I know that it must be unbelievably difficult to go through at rush hour. So
That's because you're a gent and I'm a cunt.
I'm a shut up cunt. My absolute irresponsible rage that I shouldn't do is I'm sorry to say Spaniards in Camden, which was then completely changed when I ended up working with a wonderful guy that I've made a few videos with called Joao, and he is great, but he's a massive Spaniard. But
He's actually quite a tiny Spaniard.
No, it's quite massive.
He's really, really, really well built, but just not very tall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
His biceps are bigger than most people's heads.
It's true. It's true.
Strange.
Concentrated
But,
Spaniard.
It seems to be, and I now realise I'm completely and utterly going against my whole protestation in the last issue of saying that I was, described as a racist, which I'm absolutely not, and then realise I'm just going, all Spaniards. It's not all Spaniards, it's specifically Spanish school children in Camden. For some reason, it's on the curriculum.
What, to get in your way?
No, well, yes, to get to Camden, find this weird dude with a pointy beard. He's probably going to be trying to be loud, and then he'll shut up when you get in front of him.
Just murmur under his breath at that point. Oh, we found his kryptonite. Oh my god.
Family on the
Quick, we need to send out for a Spanish field trip.
Everyone, quickly, adopt one.
Get the children.
Did you get it? Did you get it? Adopt one.
Hey.
I'm sending a message to the Catalans right now. A couple of weeks, we'll have nothing but shit jokes.
A few weeks late, mate.
For me, palm trees.
What?
Oh, they're not even fucking trees.
It's all right. You live in Bromley. You're not going to pass a few.
No, yeah, but you go abroad and they're fucking everywhere. And everyone's so proud of their fucking. Oh, look, we got palm trees. They're not a fucking tree. They're a herb.
It was
Fuck off.
a lot of fun
Just fuck
going
off.
on one holiday with Taryn that we went on when we were together.
Oh, fucking hell.
He spent a lot of time in Egypt swearing at palm trees.
Oh, the Westerners are back.
Absolutely.
See the sights, the beautiful pyramids, the beautiful fertile Nile. They don't fucking herb.
You say that, there's even a picture we've got of him swearing at the pyramids.
Although,
Oh,
History being fucked.
that was the beginning of a potential website idea. Had I been inclined to travel more widely.
swearing at the 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to call it the monumental flip-off. In which, I just travel the world and just swear at all monuments. apart from Stonehenge, because I actually quite like Stonehenge.
hippie.
It would be quite fun, wouldn't it, to teabag the Elgin marbles? Just be like, take that, Greece.
See, I've always been tempted to rub my nuts on the Blarney Stone just so that people kiss it.
There was someone that once said as an insult to it was an Irish person talking about another Irish person who was going out with a very close friend of mine. And he said, oh yeah, the problem is, you say that you kiss the Blarney Stone and it makes you good at talking and stuff like that. Well, he's fucked it. And
So what makes you rage, Tom, that you shouldn't?
I don't know. I honestly can't think of anything right now.
Okay, Kel?
I've got
you're
one that
free.
makes me rage and would probably also make you rage as tech phobes. So,
I do own a T-shirt that does say "No, I will not fix your computer," which has majorly backfired because now every time I'm wearing it, my parents
everyone
remember
wants you to fix
that
their
they need
computer.
me to fix their computer.
Stop being so good at it then.
I'm not. I just pay attention to what I'm doing.
What is it about the reticence of reading instruction manuals? I mean, I spoke with someone recently and they said that they are very technically minded and actually exceptionally good at what they do, but they sort of had a point of pride of like, I've never read the manual for this. And I've done really well with it.
Are they male?
I was going to say that's a male thing
is.
more than anything else. It's very much.
Is that a similar vein as not asking for directions?
Is that what it is?
I know, I can do it. I'm a man.
Me build, no
Exactly,
instructions.
exactly.
Yeah.
See, I tend to be the person who does read the instructions.
But computers was never about reading the instructions. It was just about playing with it for long enough.
Exactly.
A little bit of understanding, yes, but then enough to go on Google and find people who understand it better and then read it.
Well, this is
That
it.
tends to be my
At
thing.
work, I get called on for a lot of things. I'm talking silly computer issues with Excel or Word, but everyone will come to me, and if I don't know, I'll Google it. But no one else seems to have that kind of logic to just look it up.
Yeah.
No, they're lazy.
It's not like us
Yeah,
tech-minded
might be that.
people have all tech in our heads. No, we just go out and look for it.
Go play and try and break the system, and
It's part of that, just knowing the question to ask, because these people are just so fucking illiterate. They just go to Google. Just, how do I excel?
Yeah, I
made me
guess.
dribble.
Not for the first time.
But to be fair, though, I mean, I've been absolutely subject to going into a sort of tech rage of just being like, oh, for heaven's sake, this doesn't work. And then I find that, unfortunately, and I do understand those that are technically minded, it is very annoying when someone goes, how do I work this? And it's like, it could be simpler, they could just look it up or something like that. However, I found that when something goes wrong, it's in the middle of something that it's terribly, not just like, oh, I can't play my computer game or whatever. It's just like, no, I've got people coming around to record, and it's just gone, no. And when you go and ask people who know how it works and say, look, it's not working, and they're like, oh, well, it's so simple. Like, don't patronise me about this. Just tell me how. If you know how it works, I'm in a very, very bad situation. Help me.
I will find, like, everyone comes to me with tech problems, especially with computers, and there are maybe 3 things I do. 1, the thing that's not working, I reinstall the drivers, and it works. 2, I clear out as much shit as I possibly can with virus scans, anti-bot scan things, or I format it all and start again.
Oh, God.
the 3 things I do.
To be fair,
it solves
though,
everything.
You guys are talking about that as in it does rage you. Obviously, I can understand that, but
it's not a rage thing. It's more an annoyance.
But then again, I think that's completely justifiable because you're being leaned on by people that could do exactly what you're doing. Diola asked if there's anything that you rage at that you feel like you shouldn't, because actually I'm finding things like the only thing I can think of from Diola's question was the thing that I rage on the most, I think, is when people are trying to cover up or saying they didn't do something that they definitely did.
Oh, I have
like,
an issue with that.
Yeah. So trying to like palm off or just being quiet when they know that they were the one person that caused the problem.
Let it go and
But I
say,
don't think that's unjustified. I don't think that's something I'm raging at that I shouldn't.
No, I don't think that's something you shouldn't rage at. I've been in a situation where I was on the back of a wagon. We were putting a show into a theatre, and like the very last thing to come off the back was the stacks of floor. Like it's like floor in theatre comes
Like
off
a roster or something.
No, it's not roster. It's just 8x4 sheets of painted woods.
Oh, okay.
And sort of we kind of set up a chain gang. So there's someone holding the stacks up, making sure it didn't fall over, and then there's someone taking sheets off him, passing it down to the next person, and then we're just walking it onto the stage. And then as I was taking a sheet, I noticed the dude who I'd put there because he was fucking useless had somehow managed to lose control of the pack, and it was going over on him. And I just said, "Oh, everyone on him right now!" And my mate Jody jumped up, and the second his hand was on the pack, this dude fucking ran away.
Oh.
And it was lucky. That this massive stack, like this is a lot of weight, falling over or something. It just happened to hit a light at the back of, like, it's sort of a light installed on the back of the thing, and it sort of caught there. And I blew up at this guy. That's not unfair, but he was just, it made me more angry. And what made me even more angry is the fact that none of the higher ups would have a go at him, because I don't know, perhaps because I was too busy shouting at him. But the second
You were already having a good enough go.
Well, the second I started shouting at him, he's like, yeah, but it was falling on me. He's like, well, he went there and saved you, and you ran away. With 2 of you, you got... And I got so angry. And he was just sort of denied. He's like, yeah, but I had to get out of the way. I was so scared. But do you not
I think
see
some
what
people
you
are under
did
pressure,
wrong?
yeah. They just react in a different way, so...
Wouldn't have happened if you were working at McDonald's.
I work in a glorified McDonald's,
No.
but I get annoyed by the fact that
McDonald's.
I'm the only one who seems to have a pair of eyes and know where things are. Everyone will come to me and go, where's this chemical? Well, it might be in the chemical cupboard. Why don't you go have a look? Where's we've run out of straws, Tom. Oh right, it might be where we keep the fucking straws.
Again, I think these are all perfect. I don't know if any of our listeners would disagree, but I think these are all perfectly justifiable rages.
Well, no, they're coming up to me because I'm the one supposed to be looking after them. They've got a right, but
I used to get it's something that I feel that I was allowed to get angry at, but I used to get overly angry about it, and that was people taking my hat off my head.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yeah.
It wasn't so much the rape hat, because this was when I was growing up. So I was, before I had my rape
happened.
before I had the rape hats. But yeah, no, people. I used to wear a lot of funky hats, and then especially girls on nights out would like come over and I wouldn't really know them and they'd take my hat off my head. And especially when I was a bit younger and I was a bit drunk, by the time that someone had come in and their hand is taking my cap off my head, their hand is right in front of my face.
Looks like they're going to hit you almost.
Well, they've invaded my personal space.
Yeah.
And I'm drunk and I'm angry or just leery anyway. And yeah, my instant reaction was to push them away and shout at them.
Quite rightly.
I do remember sort of like almost throwing Chris Marshall over the kebab counter in.
That sounds like a euphemism.
It does actually,
You
yeah.
might have Chris Marshall over the kebab counter.
That's kind of similar to taking glasses off of someone's face because you just want to try them on.
Yeah.
That's a really ridiculous
But
thing
also,
to do.
You're allowed to be annoyed at it, but she used to get.
No, it's the same thing as any kind of like a man with longer hair.
Yeah.
The amount of women drunkenly coming up to people, to our friends that have long hair as a man, and just playing with it. It's like, that's my personal space. That is just not
Any
acceptable.
unsolicited head touchage
Yeah.
is something I
I have absolutely. I've got no problem with that whatsoever.
I see. I can't.
Like, at a club, if people come up to me and just like start going, "Oh, I like," viewers you can't see, viewers you can't see, but I'm rubbing my hand through my hair. Like, if people come up to me and go, "Oh, I love your hair," it's like fucking fantastic.
See, I have
Because I've had a lot of times where people have given me shit for my hair because they are A, cunts, and B, wrong.
Damn right, sir. You have lovely locks.
You have
Thank you very much.
Sorry. You tell me.
No, it just reminded me of Beth's 21st birthday party where my mum felt up a goth. Basically, at that time, I had long hair, long straight hair, because I straightened it every morning for about 2 hours. And it was gorgeous. And, so she walked up behind
I don't know if
someone.
gorgeous is the word. Straight is definitely an adjective. I don't know about gorgeous.
Straight
No,
in one sense of the word.
You can't talk. You cannot talk
Well, at least the
because
hair
you
was straight.
copied him and started straightening your hair too.
I don't remember that.
When we
No,
were
I
living together,
did
he
go
started
through a
using my
period. No,
straighteners.
but I was always open about how my hair looked when I straightened. Because, like, the second I straighten my hair, I do look like a pre-op tranny.
I did. I ended up looking like a Klingon.
Oh, I did it more often.
Wasn't a good look.
There is nothing sexier than a Lieutenant Worf.
Two lovely foreheads.
That's a
Thing.
gin.
Oh,
Yes, but anyway, my mum.
Michael Dawn with minge head is sexy as fuck.
Yes, sir. So my mum walked up behind this dude and started playing with his hair and touching him up, thinking it was me.
Brilliant.
it was not.
It was not. She was slightly drunk. She was very embarrassed. He was like loving it, and I pissed myself.
What is that? Oh, I see. Your physical cue when your mother starts playing with you is for you to urinate. Yeah, you're sort of right. I see.
Now you see my problem with her touching my feet.
There you are. That figures.
That was out of the blue. I wasn't ready.
Special guest appearance there from James Brown.
Bow, 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 bow. Get off that! Get on off! I'm so glad you knew I was going. I could have gone for ages.
There's one more thing, which I think there's probably an argument to make it justifiable, but I get annoyed when people use the phrase "got some" in relation to sex.
Ooh.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not very.
It's purely
Classy.
It's not that. It kind of it removes the participle nature of what they're trying to.
Or
do.
it's mutual.
This is something between two people. So, I took
though,
it
is
off.
it?
I got it.
What happened?
Sorry. What was that?
What
Sorry.
happened?
It said mutual exchange. I just turned to Kel. It's not normally mutual, is it? No. Sorry.
Oh, hang on. I was going to say, yeah. Because the whole unsolicited head touchage thing is that when I used to come back from the studio really late at night on a Friday, I would wait at, there's always a long wait at King's Cross station for the last train on the platform, the tube, sorry. And I was there just very, very tired, a little bit drunk, zoning out. And I felt this kind of sensation of just like mild tugging. I was like, what the hell is that? Turn around and there's this woman just actually full on just like grabbing my hand playing with it. I said, excuse me, what are you doing? She said, oh, don't be silly, you love it. Oh, it actually really nearly blew my socks. Went, hang on, sorry. If
That's
I did that to
horrid.
you, you were on your own on a tube platform, and I, as a man, walked up to you and started playing with your long hair.
You'd be arrested.
Do you know what? That's the counter equivalent of what was his fucking name? That Vine tosser who was in
Dapper Love.
Yeah, that's kind of the equivalent. that's kind of the equivalent of
Vine
him pointing
tosser.
at you and going, "Oh, she knows."
I do love the
It's-
fact that anyone says, "Who's that vine tosser?" and everyone knows exactly who it is.
But similarly, like men feeling like if you're out drinking, they can just grab your hips or touch you. Like that's not a thing. You can't just do that.
And it's because they're already drunk. It's the subtle kind of like almost like a bully. You know, bullies only shout something when you're already walking away. The subtle grab of some part of your body when they think it's being really like, oh, they'll never know it was me because it's a big crowd. It's like, I fucking knew it was you. You're fucking drunk and you're stumbling into my arse. Like that's so rude.
I actually got kicked out of Reading for a
Really?
scenario like that. Yeah,
the whole town.
There was the festival.
yeah.
There was, there was a guy. I went off to see a band on my own, and he basically just was standing behind me in the crowd and just started touching me. So I turned around and lamped him, and the next thing I know, I've got security's arms under
It's
my
your fault,
armpits,
yeah.
lifting me out, and I got ejected from the arena for 2 hours.
So weird.
Is that what you call it these days?
So I feel like we're going to go off into a spiral of utter rage.
Yes.
I've got one more.
Okay.
Well, if that story proves anything, right, bouncers know, and they've just proven that it is always the victim's fault.
No. I think it's a cool down
They
session.
kind of did me a favour though, because they got me out of there.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
fair
double-edged
enough.
sword.
And at the end of the day, I was violent.
Yeah. You shouldn't. Violence is never an answer, so it's almost
Yeah,
like a
but
cool
it
down
was
tip.
the only answer.
To be fair, sexual assault is also violent.
Yeah,
It is.
It is a form of violence.
It's definitely got in your business, if you see what I mean.
Oh, that's definitely sexual assault if they're getting in your business.
Bow.
Get off that! Get on off!
So, Beth, I believe you have
I
something
do,
from
but
the
Tom
Pol
also
Pot in your
has.
hands.
He has a.
Oh, it's just
Oh,
a
sorry.
little quick one. Americans, can you please understand? It is I couldn't care any less.
Oh, yes. I couldn't give a shit.
Not I could care
give a
less.
shit. Or could give a shit. Also,
It's round the wrong way. Listen to yourselves. It's
hold
English. It's
the
not that hard.
fort. As it is hold the fort, not hold down the fort.
We could-
The fort's not going anywhere. It's not going to float away.
It's fine, guys. It's fine.
You don't need to anchor it. You are literally holding it until whatever needs to arrive arrives. You are keeping hold of.
And please understand, Americans, you're being lazy by not putting a U in words that end R. Colour
Okay. You could just.
has a U in it.
Oh
You
no!
are lazy.
I'll give them.
I will give them aluminium. It is actually aluminum.
Aluminum.
It is aluminum.
No, it's not.
It is.
No.
But-
on that, we're so opposite on this right now. I'm happy with dropping the U from colour and honour because that works. However, if you look at the naming convention of all the other elements, it is inium.
May I possibly interject I don't particularly mind if there is such a thing as vernacular and language is emergent, and it does its own thing, and there are certain times when people come up with phrases. For instance, there are plenty of phrases in our sort of standard English lexicon which, when it comes down to it, have been warped beyond its original etymology or meaning or anything like that.
Yes.
And so that we are just as guilty, but it's just that there's nobody around from 300 years ago to go, that doesn't
Agreed.
make any sense. What it was originally is no. Now, so I don't mind.
We're holding
that.
on to the past.
It is completely stupid and idiotic, and I'm afraid slightly idiosyncratic of the American thing of not understanding.
This is why I'm saying it's something that I shouldn't rage against.
Right.
That's true.
But
That's
however,
true.
at the same time, my rage against the whole thing of the dropping of the U is I don't object to the dropping of the U if they just simply think that that's what they're going to do and that's absolutely fine and it's evolving language. My objection is when they say, oh yes, the reason why we're dropping the U is because that's the French version and this is English. Right, fine.
I've
absolutely
not
fine.
heard that
then
before.
don't say herb.
Oh.
Because
fuck you
because
guys.
they then use the same justification back, countered, saying yes, but that's how you pronounce it, and that's the French way of pronouncing it. Yes, but you've dropped the U, but in
and it's not cilantro.
What place have they to use that argument? They fucking hate the French.
Well, I can't blame them.
They created
There are two massive brushes of generic kind of. They
cheese-eating surrender
hate
monkeys.
the
For
French.
That's how much they don't like the French. They can't then use that as justification for the way they use their language.
Yes, but
do you know what?
but
This could go. This could go
We're
forever.
rolling into
Beth,
rage and
Beth.
really alienating a
I
lot
think
of
that was the
people.
idea of the topic. Beth, please, what did you pull from the poll pot?
Very interesting topic from Johnny.
Hello, Johnny. Love
Hello,
you.
Johnny.
Is it actually Johnny?
Oh, Johnny.
I don't know. Read the question. I don't know.
What? It's a really good question, actually. What, in your humble opinion, is the worst song by your favourite band?
I think, in humble opinion, this one has to go to Hal first.
All right. Fair enough. My favourite band, I had to boil it down to it's not my favourite song, people who made my favourite song, but my favourite ever band would have to be Fields and Nephilim, and I would say either Phobia or Power, because Phobia sounds like a hoedown. And,
Okay.
and it really does, if you heard it. And Power sounds to me like a very beautiful and elaborately, lyrical and romantic, sort of band that are capable of a great complexity, trying to have a bit of a go at a sort of skank down punky type moment, and it's like, don't do that. No. You can almost do metal, but you can't do the kind of dunch. And so,
Doesn't quite work.
Whilst I would love to say that they are an infallible band and totally perfect, no, I'm sorry, those two tunes just, no.
Yeah. I think I played one to Taryn just a few nights ago. Atari Teenage Riot are one of my favourite bands. And they did a piece of brilliant self-satire called Digital Hardcore, which basically...
Oh my god, it's so good.
It sums up all that is digital hardcore and all that is wrong with digital hardcore in one 7-minute long track where there's about 1 minute of song. The rest is just fucking noise. And it's beautiful, but it is horrible.
So not pleasant. You wouldn't put it on.
Horrible though.
If it comes on in the car, I make myself listen to it.
The thing is, I really
And I
like
enjoy
noise
it in a
because it
way.
challenges you, but it's not like that, I'm guessing.
No, it's just noise for the sake of noise.
It's not though, because you were right. It is splendidly satirical.
It is satirical, and I hope it was meant purely as satirical.
I think
and I'm pretty sure it is.
Self-reference and satire is obviously fantastic if a band can do it, but is there a concern that it might possibly not be?
Yeah, this is the same band that released not only the song
I don't
named
believe
after
it
them.
couldn't. Like this is.
It's too brilliant.
It's too brilliant and it's too fucking awful to be unconscious.
But this is the band who also did Atari Teenage Riot, the song, and Atari Teenage Riot 2. So I don't know.
Do you mind? How do you feel about bands having, like, let's say they have a song called Timothy's Fuck Pants Come Again or something like that, and then they have Timothy's Fuck Pants Come Again 2.
That's not an issue.
Oh, like sort
Yeah.
of Slipknot with Vermilion Part 2.
Yeah.
Vermilion Part 2 is beautiful.
Well, I mean, I feel Metallica did it quite well with the Unforgiven trilogy. Like, I think Unforgiven 3 is one of the few
More unforgivable.
No, I don't think so.
Really gone beyond it now.
Unforgiven with vengeance.
I'm not going to say genuinely good, but it's one of the more genuinely enjoyable songs on Death Magnetic.
Unforgiven, the Apology remix.
To be honest, there are a couple of good tracks on that album.
It is. It was a good comeback from previous.
Saint Anger, yeah.
I will say this for Death Magnetic. When I first heard it, I listened to it a good few times, and I would listen to it again and again, and it was fine, but then I ramped off. It was when I listened? Why did I just suddenly go Asian? Sorry. It's when I listened to it. It's when I listened to it mastered by somebody else that it actually came alive as an album. Because all of a sudden you didn't have the drums just like going. Like, you had kind of everything doing what it should do in the track, and it made it a bit more enjoyable. But for me, like, worst songs by my favourite bands, it's got to be Blind by Haken, because Haken are incredible. They're
Phenomenal.
absolutely phenomenal. They are, like, they epitomise this sort of progressive prog rock that's really good. Like, all their music is really good at just describing a scene. Blind,
The ultimate concept album writers.
Blind is just oppressive. It's just deeply, darkly oppressive. It's really difficult to listen to. And also, you've got by Porcupine Tree. The creator had a master tape.
Oh yeah.
That song is a piece
I don't know that one.
shit.
Can I it's
I'll
just
skip it then.
the reason I ask about the part 2 thing, because I once had this conversation with, because I've once or twice done a part 2 of something because I wanted to revisit a concept and to exorcise that particular demon. However, this person had a real go going, there could be nothing. Oh, there's nothing more just pretentious than going, oh, 2 or B or something. Oh, that's just so ridiculous. It's like, sorry, but there are such things as, for instance, I mean, Balsa Goth did The Dark Liege of Chaos is Unleashed at the Insorthal Shrine of Azura Kai, the splendour of 1,000 swords gleaming beneath the blazon of the Hyperborean Empire, Part 2.
Oh my god, that sounded like a Nile track.
Brilliant. Yeah. But the thing is, but even then, I don't mind that, because I mean, yes, admittedly, one of my favourite songs ever by Scott Walker is track 3. And it's
so
utterly
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
But and I don't mind it. And as you have 1,000 million people that have named their songs like As Yet Untitled, I don't mind it.
Song 2
For
blur.
the part 2, part 3 thing, I'm quite happy to go along with that because I think it makes a lot more sense than
Especially the Unforgiven 2. He actually says the Unforgiven 2 in it.
Yes. I think that
the remix.
I think that makes a lot more sense than just messing with the original track. It's just like, well, we've got this thing that we want to talk about, and we've got these like kind of themes, be they vocal or musical, that we can play on more. I think it's better just to do a sequel to it and play with it a little bit than just fuck about with the original.
My Dying Bride have revisited the Sear Me song, which appeared on their first album, which is my favourite of theirs. But they've done Sear Me like, well, they call it the year that they did it in the Roman numerals, but they've done it in sort of a few albums between. And the brilliance of it is that they keep revisiting the tune of it and the sort of vague lyrical concept, but each time they do it, it's an absolute window onto the band that they are at that time, which I think is a really lovely way.
As long as the fan base kind of understand that and they can carry on with them.
No, none of us understand anything they do.
Can I just ask, because I don't really listen to rock and metal and stuff, so song 2 is the concept that you're talking about where the artist has redone the same song again.
No, it's a different
development
song.
on.
It's a
the
different
same
song, just labelled number 2. It's not just like a remix.
Often revisiting themes
Yes.
or some kind of
Yeah,
lilt in
themes.
it or
Yeah, yeah.
just
But then
anything in it.
you also
Like
have certain
melodies are
bands
brought back.
who have called like a song and album. They called it like track 4, but it's at number 7 because they're being deeply comical and clever. Do you know, like, all right, we get it. You know, it's that sort of thing. But there are sometimes people who. For me, slightly the irony of what Scott Walker is doing by calling his one track 3 or track 7 is another particularly good one, is that the lyrics are really, really profoundly sort of depthy and everything like that. But he's just gone, oh, fuck it, it's called track 2, it's track 3, whatever, you know. But I get annoyed by the popularity of song 2, partly because I had to play it in a band when I was a drummer. It just annoys me. It's what indie kids think is metal.
Right.
Like, this song's really heavy.
Quite fun.
Blur song 2.
Yeah. It's
When
quite fun.
I was in a band, we did song 2, but we also did it in a medley that was song 2, Buck Rogers by Feeder, and
Oh my god, Hal's face.
fuck was it? It was
He had blue hair at the time.
Gay Bar, and we called it 2 Gay Rogers, and it was brilliant because we kept the same tempo all the way
It
through.
was pretty good, actually. I
And
enjoyed
song
it.
2 was right at the end, so you run out and you're basically playing it at triple the speed. So it's it's ridiculous. It was so much fun to play.
Oh, I've got another one to add, and this is kind of slightly masturbatory, but it's a Meadowcroft song. Meadowcroft being the band that myself, Johnny, the question asker, Björn, one of our good friends, and then Tim and Joe did.
So do you mean question ask, or do you mean pot dealer?
That was it.
Sowing the seed.
But on Sunday night / Monday, like me and
Yeah.
Tom had a bit of a night. We listened to some old shit, and
Yeah,
we
we
ended up listening to this song, "Call Me a Traitor."
Pictures in an empty room.
Defining You just needs to be recorded well.
Yeah,
and
I'll do it, fuck it.
just needs some juggling. I think that could still be a good.
Call Me a
Call Me a
Traitor. We
Traitor
did notice a few things.
Massive piece of shit.
Oh, it's so fun.
It
It's not.
starts one section it doesn't quite finish it, and then starts another one. And then doesn't quite finish that one, and starts another one.
Welcome to tech death.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're just progressive before you know it.
I love it. I love it to death, that song. But
I don't. It's not good.
it was listening to it and listening to, obviously, our friend Björn learning production and all that kind of stuff and how to record several instruments on different tracks and mix them together. You could hear him fumbling as well, which was beautiful. Because he's such a better producer now. He's amazing.
Of course, yeah.
You got to learn
But
something.
back then, it's just like, oh, there's a Tim, the drummer, has just thrown in 2 extra cymbals where there really should have been. It just stumbles over himself.
Yeah, again, progressive. Just
Oh, maybe that was it. Maybe that's what they were going for.
Who else? Kel, you got anything to add to this? Like, favourite band, worst song?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Thing is, I love the song, but not as something that the band created. So it's Pink Floyd Bicycle, because Pink Floyd has such an amazing repertoire of like fantastic music,
But very diverse.
but Bicycle just kind of stands out there as being a bit of a cling clang meh kind of song.
It's a very Syd Barrett track.
It really is, and I'm just it's very nostalgic
'Cause
for
that's
me.
what-
But
that's-
past nostalgia, there's not a lot there.
It's something that kind of sits more in the field that perhaps should have been created by Bonzo Dog Doodah Band rather than Pink Floyd.
Who was that, Taz?
The
Bonzo Dog Doodah Band.
but it is their moment of whimsy, and that's odd to say that given it's Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
which is,
it's
I'm saying
really
that as not a great
peculiar.
fan of Pink Floyd, but like it's funny knowing that there are certain bands also that dislike certain songs in their own repertoire as based on whether they enjoy performing it anymore. Which reminds me is, wouldn't it be utterly other than being the long thing in my family was the very picture of anonymity is to be Bruce Springsteen's bassist in the E Street Band. Nobody knows his name.
Yeah.
But people do. But it's just in my family, it was like nobody knows who it is. But the worst would be being in the Blue Oyster Cult, because apparently they play Don't Fear the Reaper around 3
God.
times.
Can you imagine? Can you
I've heard that
imagine?
about like Chevy Chase as well, like just playing the same
Same
song over and
songs.
over again.
It's the only. I mean, but then again, Pink Floyd is the perfect other example of it. They almost refuse to play their sort of past repertoire because Gilmore's along the line to just going, well, I'm sorry, I'm somewhere else now.
Yeah.
And my dad riles against that hugely, saying, well, if I go to see a band that I particularly like, I go to see them.
Sorry,
That was the sound of Bev trying to subtly open a can.
and she opened it under the
What do you have to say
table.
for yourself, darling?
Where are all the mics are? I thought that would be best. Sorry.
And what do you have to say for yourself?
Shoot me again. I ain't dead yet.
She is the table.
And let's just
Right.
say that is the worst fucking
Right,
thing they
okay.
ever did.
This is the thing. I've written down Metallica, Lou Reed, Table, Comedy, Shoot Me Again. Basically, I love Metallica. Every single song on the Lou Reed album, rest in peace, Lou Reed.
Yeah.
But all of that album, sorry, no.
I desperately want to see the British version. Do you mind if I'm the sideboard? Do you mind if I'm the sideboard? Do you mind
Right
if I'm the sideboard?
sideboard. Shoot Me Again. But everyone's taken the piss out of that album so much that I can't really take the piss out anymore. I'm going to mention, because not a lot of people agree with my deduction, I hate every single Ziltoid from Devin. Ooh. Devin is one of the greatest musicians that has ever lived. He is a genius. He's a tortured genius. He is so clever. I fucking hate Ziltoid. And then he came up, like, Jake, one of our lovely friends, Jake, bought me a ticket to see Devin Townsend play, and it was just an amazing experience. And then, like, I was just giddy. I was beside myself watching him, and then all of a sudden, Ziltoid's in all of the screens all around. I'm like, oh, you've lost me.
Yeah.
There's the thing of there's the Beastie Boys, who ever since they released a single won't play "Fight for Your Right to Party."
Really?
Yeah, I have to say that came to my mind earlier. That's one of those songs by a band that I absolutely fucking adore. I love Beastie Boys. I cannot stand that song.
But
Wow.
like,
I bet they can't anymore.
It becomes easy to understand when you consider what they do with their music. They hate metal. They wrote that song as a satire against kind of the kind of high school metal scene.
Really?
And just kind of the metalers just took it. So they've never performed it since. They don't perform it anymore. Yeah. Backfired so hard.
No, but the thing is, that brings me back round to Devin, because the strapping young lad was almost like a pastiche, and then he suddenly realised that it was getting higher billings than his actual stuff that he wanted to push. So then it kind of progresses his depression in some way, because he's suddenly realising that he's getting notoriety for something that he's actually trying to take the piss out of.
Which was a complete shame, because I really fucking love Strapping
I
Young
love
Lad.
that as well. I don't think he's going to be all like stick two fingers up to everyone that loves Strapping Young Lad, because it's clearly amazing music. It's fucking so fun.
Yeah, but you could tell he was kind of taking
he was not
the
having
piss out
fun.
of it.
He was not having fun with it.
Some couldn't tell, myself included, at the early phases, and the saddest thing about it is that Gene Hoglan, as in ex-Death drummer that drummed on arguably Strapping Young Lad's best work.
Yeah. Was it the Alien album?
No, he drummed on everything after Heavy Is a Really Heavy Thing.
Oh, okay.
And it was rather sad. He doesn't bear Devin ill will necessarily, but it was more that his comments over the demise of Strapping Young Lad was sort of like, we were really working on something that was great.
Yeah.
But admittedly, the driving force and visionary in any sort of piece, if they've lost that, if they can't get it up anymore, then the orgy's done. You know?
I also do feel like as Andy mentioned earlier, like we're talking a lot about the rock and the metal stuff of it. Andy, can you give us an insight on some kind of like dance act? One of those bouncy artists that you think is not so good on one track.
I've got a live recording of a club night I went to in 2009. Which is a wicked mix, but about.
Is this the new sound?
Yeah, it's the new sound. I hate the new sound. I love that recording, and I listen to those albums all the time. But there's this track on it, and the narrative of the track is someone saying, they said dance music was dead. They said it would never recover.
Hard dance is about having a good time. That is one of the lines in it.
Yeah, hard dance isn't. I say that hard dance isn't about looking cool. I was like, no, fucking, of course it's not.
It's not.
Everyone's peeled out the audience, like.
Do you by any chance remember that oh my god, that's embarrassing, but David, who made Salad Fingers, David
Firth.
did a brilliant BBC piece
Yes.
about right. And do you remember the bit within it where there's
Explain the piece first.
David Firth is an excellent animator he rose to fame through things like Salad Fingers, which is now unfortunately rather hackneyed by everyone.
Newgrounds
Devo.
back in the day.
But however, he was then he has risen to great heights and is a fantastic animator. And he was commissioned by the BBC to do a few shorts here and there in between programs, stuff like that. And one of the ones that he did was a scarily accurate satire of chart music. Yeah. And how it was presented like an animated documentary piece, and how it is that people actually come to like stuff that's in the charts because it's just by overexposure. And it's a guy going through the paces and having been exposed to this terrible tune, and he's like, I fucking hate it, it's fucking awful. And then about the 15th seconds, he's like, I quite like it, I'll see if my friends like it as well, you know. But one of the ones is that he goes through the charts, and one of the tunes, you know, is Poopy Plops or something like that, and it's
I wrote a song like this.
This is the song I wrote. This is the song I wrote. It goes like this. This is my song. Right. I was at the gym, and no word a lie, in all seriousness, there was a tune that had the other jokers that wrote that, and here's techno minimalist, beat with 4 to the floor, dum 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 dum, and it was that with a woman in the exact same accent going, "This is my bass line. This is my bass line. Yeah, this is my baseline."
This sounds a little bit Nathan Barley, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Then she did something I find a cardinal sin. I was going to raise on Facebook recently. She then proceeds to do what I regard as the world's most lazy thing you can do in music. And this is above sha-na-na-na-na or la-la-la-la, is counting.
1, 2.
Yeah, again, you're saying it to me when one of my favourite bands is Atari Teenage Riot. Half the lyrics are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but let's have the hardcore or the punk there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's that. But what I'm talking about is when dance gets so bored, they end up being, or like for instance, like commercial rap is A B C D E F G. I've got no pants left in my pee, or something like that. It's all I do.
That's how the alphabet goes.
Record done.
Yeah, it's the fucking Black Eyed Peas.
Millionaire
That's
overnight.
done. But she just proceeded to go, this is the bass line, this is my bass, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
People like it.
That is some of the most biting satire. And it's wonderful.
just
However,
for-
one of his greatest tracks is I love it. It's like, I like drinking milk from the milkman's wife's tits. Oh,
That's
Aphex Twin.
That's Aphex Twin.
that Aphex
Yeah. He made a video for it.
David
Oh, did he just do the video?
He did the video for it, but David
right.
Firth also has his own. He has a number of musical exploits, but one of my favourites is an act that's just him called Locust Toy Box. And Locust Toy Box is a particularly brutal sort of ambient and occasionally sort of noise-based artwave project that has created. He uses Boards of Canada a lot for his more bleak videos, but other times he creates his own called Locust Toy Box. And I had the honour of actually, managed to find some of it because he's rather reclusive about it.
Yeah.
I managed to find some online, and it's absolutely. And I'm big on the whole sort of noise and ambient scene. And I've got to admit that, look, and I know something about that sort of wank.
I'm very Enya.
I don't know if you know, but I mean, Enyo's watermark. I mean, my God, noise straight on it.
I'm so deep
Plain
in
on the
there.
money.
Yeah, all right, calm down,
One of my
Shut up, cunt.
There you are.
One of my-
I'm something from the hot pot, Hal.
Right.
Carry on, Tom.
Before any one of the internet comes out, I know I did it wrong. It was "This is the song I made. This is the song I made." Before the internet goes crazy, because you know how many fans we've got.
Yeah, all of like one in Sweden.
Yeah.
By the way, can
David
we-
Firth, he's always been savage. He's always been so savage.
You can find it sauvage.
in a garage.
What you got for us, Hal?
Right. I'm pleased to see that this has been spelt with the requisite U.
Good.
Favourite words.
Ooh.
Oh, who's that from? Do we know?
I'm afraid to say it was.
It's a hot pot.
No,
it's from us.
one
so-
from one of the
Hot Pot.
hosts. God knows.
Okay. I like bubble.
Bubble.
Yeah, bubble. A bubble. A bubble.
I like it too now.
Give it a go. Give it a go. Go on, Tom.
Bubble.
You can add to the.
Bubble.
Okay, don't make it perverted. It was never perverted.
Quite like the word flange.
Oh, okay, flange.
Did you know that there's a chalky
Chalky's quite good.
in layers of like Wiltshire and everything like that, and so also the sort of basin of London and everything. You got chalk layers.
Yes, yeah.
Right. Did you know that beneath chalk, and I pray this is accurate because Jonathan Mead says it was.
There's a chonk.
It's the bit underneath.
Mead said it was.
Yeah, or it must be accurate.
I typed it into his
Right.
brain.
Allegedly, beneath chalk is a silty deposit called clunge.
What? I like it.
Another beautiful
Can I get a one-way ticket?
one-way ticket to club?
All aboard the clunge train!
Oh, see, I still quite like Quinn.
Quinn.
Oh, Quinn.
Is there any way of making your favourite words, but then not necessarily like minge, flange, clunge? No, non-sexual.
I like the word spindrift.
Spindrift.
Spindrift is
No,
good.
that's a lot of effort. Oh my god. Spindrift.
Spindrift is the name. It is a term used for kind of the spume left off of kind of lighter waves.
No, so it says the waves are crashing. It says the wind comes over the wave.
And
the wind
foam is
and
created off the.
Well, it's just the spray that comes off of the wave as it's crashing, and the spray in the air, just as a wave is starting to crash, and it's whisked away by the air.
I don't know. I mean, I've got top
I like
three.
that word.
I've got top
Oh,
three.
please,
Like,
pray tell.
number 3 is necromantic.
Beautiful.
I like necrophilia, which is almost.
I heard about
Oh no, that can be taken out of context.
goth.
That tells you everything you need to know about
Oh my
Hal.
god.
I could never get stiff enough.
He's close enough to the grave.
Necrophilia is very rhythmic and poetic
Yeah,
and nice.
no,
Rhythm method in necrophilia. Please don't get pregnant. Oh, fuck it.
But anyway,
so number 3 is necromantic. Number 2 is pluvial.
Oh, that's great. What the fuck does that
It
mean?
means of or pertaining to rain.
What is it again? Say again.
Pluvial.
That's nice.
As in il pleut. Il pleut, as in.
Yeah, I can't speak
And
French.
it's actually making her moist, so that works.
Damp, please.
I'm raining in.
Number one, and this is by far, like, by a clear margin, my favourite word of all time, is agathocacological.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's a sexy word.
It's
Go on.
fucking incredible.
Please
It
tell me.
means
It sounds like a volume of the encyclopedia.
It means containing of both good and evil.
What? That's my tattoo, dude. Say it again.
Agathocacological.
Athacacological.
Beth, say it again.
Agathocacological.
Athica cacolo. Oh fuck. Athica cathological.
It's a fucking incredible word.
I've never heard of that. Thank you for educating me.
No worries. It's a very rare word. I think I don't know.
Was it made by Taz?
No, not at all.
It's true. You can't buy it in Greg's.
You can't.
Pretty fucking
Actually,
Can I heat it up in a microwave?
See that bum there? You there?
This is one of my favourite things about Agatha Cacological is that basically everything is.
Yes.
Right. Greg's? Yeah, it's tasty, but bad for you. Agatha Cacological.
Yes, but you
Good
wouldn't be able to
and
go
evil.
into Greg's and say, "You there, Johnson. To me, I wish for you to find me the pasty that you would decree is the very most cacological."
Thank you for listening.
Cacological.
And you.
And you,
I go through phases of liking. Jim has fixed it.
Yeah.
Get up! Get on up!
Have you seen? There's a side point. Dom Lawson, actually we were talking about the last issue, who was
Yes.
in Oath. He's the singer of Oath.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't believe that made it to the episode, actually, after editing.
There we are.
I
Okay,
think
well,
that
we
was in-
discussed the brilliance
It
of
was,
Oath.
it was during a loo break.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That Dom Lawson, one of my favourite journalists within the UK, he unleashed on the advent of poor Mr. Saville. And when he died, it wasn't a tragedy. So when he did, Dom put up a video that all of us weren't aware of, where Dom Lawson managed to get on Jim Will Fix It, and his Jim Will Fix
Holy
It,
shit.
as a young, tiny little kid, said, "I just want to meet Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden."
Oh,
And he did, and there's this
my
one video.
God.
And you know what it's like when you see someone, a little dinky bird, like 7-year-old them, and you can even pick up how their voice sounds after their voice is
yeah,
broken,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
absolutely it's gold.
Bearing in mind, he's in death metal band. Would you describe him
Well,
as?
No.
More like a metal band.
Well, Oath are absolutely sort of
no,
ridiculously punky. sort
Iron
of-
Maiden, I thought you meant.
Oh, I meant
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
you
mean
mean
Oath.
Dom and Oath?
Yeah, it's a metal
kind
band.
of this sort of comedy, like grindy punk stuff.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So,
Oh, that's lovely.
seeing a little 7-year-old.
Actually, I might have to replace number 3 as the technical opposite to hyperbole.
Oh, there's a few
Hyperbole
in
is
there.
quite a nice one.
Hyperbole is a wicked one. I like
Yeah.
litotes.
What was it?
Litotes. Litotes. It's as the opposite of hyperbole. It means kind of
Self-effacing.
no. It's the opposite of over exaggerating. It's
Literal
under.
direct.
It's under exaggerating.
Wow. I quite like ascertain.
That's a nice word.
I've gone through different phases of liking different things. And at the moment, I'll give you 2 that is obvious where I'm going with it. But one is perfunctory, which I'm particularly fond of. Which
Got
is
the
sort of
funk with a capital F.
like unnecessary and sort of it's extraneous. And then the other is perambulatory, which I thought.
Oh, yeah. What
does that mean?
Rather like, it's basically
It means kind of in sort of or pertaining to walking.
So, perambular sort of effect.
but
Almost pedestrian.
Pedestrian.
See, it's funny you say, because there are other ones that I adore that I've also, it's because I've struggled with them before. I used to think, we've all gone through this at school, someone says a word and you go, "Oh, you're kidding, that's how you pronounce it, I'm so embarrassed."
Yeah.
And I thought that Leviathan, spent many years thinking it was Leviathan, which is rather embarrassing. But
They both sound very pretty.
But so much so that I got the tattoo of the symbol of Leviathan on my left calf. Right calf? I can't remember. But then
How drunk are you?
No, I genuinely can't. Honestly, the beauty of tattoos in my mind is there are certain tattoos that aren't in your immediate view that you forget that you have. I don't mean like actually forget full amnesia, more along the lines you kind of have a shower and they go, "Oh, wicked, I've got that tattoo, I completely forgot about that."
Yeah,
love that.
I always
Especially
catch myself
when
in
it's
the
on the
mirror. Yes,
Yes,
I've got
that's
2
right.
on my back and I just
Exactly,
don't see them ever. I'm
But
just
the
like,
other
I've
one
got
is
ink.
pedagogue, which I think is, and you can have pedagogic.
Oh
which
shit!
is,
What the fuck does I know pedagogue? I can't remember.
Scale,
What does it
isn't
mean?
well, as the other one, you'll be able to.
No. First, tell us what pedagogue means.
Well, pedagogue, if I'm correct, is essentially a sort of hierarchy within learning. That the pedagogue is like a sort of a pinnacle of rhetoric.
Okay.
I could be hideously wrong, and there will be people going, "I think you'll find that's it." Yeah, but I love the idea. There's also the demagogue, which I think is particularly nice.
Yes.
You guys might be able to help me out with this. Okay. So, a lot of my favourite words are words that actually sound like the thing they're trying to describe.
Onomatopoeic, you mean?
Yeah, that's
No.
the word.
That's not.
that it?
No, that's not an onomatopoeic. Onomatopoeic means
Sounding
comprised
like it.
onomatopoeic is. Oh no, you are
Sort of
entirely correct.
Yeah, it's onomatopoeic. It's words like plop.
Yeah, that
or
onomatopoeic,
like
yeah.
sticky.
Yeah.
Sticky. Or
Sorry, I was thinking of oxymoronic.
or boobs.
Yeah, I'm not quite
Boob is
Lubberdubs.
It's going to be awful of me to say this, but sorry, sticky isn't an onomatopoeia.
To me, I feel
Well,
it
it
is.
sounds
It's
like what it
it
is.
is.
Like
It is because
sticky.
It
your
sounds like the correct
association.
word for the thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But when you say plop, which is actually it's a descriptive, and in the etymology doesn't really matter. It's actually
It's
it is a
almost the
descriptive.
sound of it.
right?
Yeah.
But sticky is that you come from the etymology as to stick.
Maybe it's almost like a reverse.
But however,
you have that
your association
association.
is. I totally get why you would, but it's not
That's really
necessarily to
interesting,
say that
actually.
that's.
So can we think of some more onomatopoeias?
Well,
No, that's not an onomatopoeia.
one I came up with recently was
Grasp?
actually, it's kind of the other way
Ding.
around is the bloop,
Ding.
Ding,
which is
right.
the bloop is a sound that I said about the whale, the loneliest whale in the world, but then the reason I sort of discovered one of those is that there's this thing called the bloop, which is on the same microphones that have recorded the loneliest whale.
Yeah.
Has found the most fascinating frequency that you can to be perceived by the human ear has been pitched up, but it is utterly onomatopoeic, and if you listen to the sample, it is, it's that sort of weird sound. But you're talking about maybe a good number of miles off the Brazilian coast, where it's registered as its origin. It's been picked up by ex-military microphones. That in order for it to be physically manifested, whatever created it would have, if it were organic, would have to be just abnormally large.
Yeah.
And incredibly underwater.
Yeah.
And the brilliance of it, of course, the internet has gone Cthulhu.
Say Cthulhu?
Yeah.
Kel perked up there.
But it's worth looking up. I mean, it's not. You don't listen to it go. Oh, it's not someone going. You will die. But it's more that it's fascinating to hear this. It turns out apparently that someone has suggested it's actually a glacial. Thank you. It's a glacial drift that has caused this huge.
Oh, okay.
But however, it's great to hear it because it's like. Yeah, there's stuff we don't know, and there's stuff we don't know that's beneath rather than up there.
That is quite a
I
cool
love
thing
that.
to
It's
like
great.
just work your brain around.
Because the Mariana Trench is a never-ending source of absolute fascination because it's the deepest point, and there's stuff down there.
I don't know. Have we got down there yet?
Yes,
Only
we have, yes.
two
We have,
people.
yeah.
Two people have been down there.
the
We've not.
bathoscope.
We've not been back since. There's not a lot down there.
No, there's not.
It's a shitload of effort to get there as well.
But also, however, it is intriguing that there were certain little. I mean, obviously, any of the transcripts in the two bathoscope tests down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench that people want to read in because they want, from a sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Not Zora. The cryptozoological perspective is that everyone wants to kind of listen to the transcript of whatever that dude was, and it's like, oh, did he just go? Or something like that. But there were two chaps in one of the bathoscopes, and one of them went, "Oh, that's interesting."
Another one on the level is I quite like the word pelagic. Pelagic. Yeah, it's like the pelagosphere is somewhere between kind of the upper sea and
How much
and
you
the
can palate?
bathysphere.
It's like I couldn't palate it. It's unpalatable. It was out of the palatosphere.
Pelagic.
Yeah, but I just quite like that it would be the palatosphere.
Has anyone else got anything to add to this?
just hypotenuse, I find is quite a
Hypotenuse?
nice word.
hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse.
Erroneous.
I did say it with a mouthful of whiskey.
Erroneous. I felt hideously embarrassed. I used to work at a university.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I used to work at
Notre Dame.
No, Notre Dame.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Well, actually, not.
I was the
London.
the University of Notre Dame.
Oh, right.
he was-
Yeah, I've been part of it.
I was
He was the hunch.
Hunchback.
I was like, coming in all you goobers!
Death metal.
The bells.
I was working there, and sometimes that you have a sort of miscommunication in your own brain about what a certain word means. And I wasn't using it because I'm proud and verbose or anything like that, but I unfortunately mixed the meaning of erroneous and extraneous. And I was explaining these particular things during a meeting with the director and the sub-director, they two being some of possibly, well, certainly America's, but if not, like, the Western civilized world's most, celebrated academics. I was going, yeah, but the problem is, what they're doing there is completely extraneous, meaning that it was an error. And about a year later, I suddenly realised.
A year later.
Thank God this man hasn't. Although I have given a talk at that university, but I don't even have A levels.
That's not apical, which is also one of my favourite words. Apical.
That's quite cool. What's that?
It's the best. It's the highest. Apical being the highest
the
point.
Pinnacle. Almost.
So, in sort of using apical, it's the best. It's not the best thing.
Sorry, I just got reminded of mispronunciation.
Mispronunciation.
The word conscience, I used to have a lot of problem spelling and reading as a kid, and I didn't know what this word meant, and I kept copying it down from textbooks and stuff. Conscience didn't make sense to me, and every time I need to spell conscience now, I go conscience.
I was apparently one of the sweeter moments, as far as my parents were concerned, that I did when coming back from school once, was that they picked me up. I was about 7 years old. And no, sorry, I would have been 8.
And I was pissed, and I was well pilled up.
I was like, "Mum, Dad, do you want like a banging line of coke?" Or not that I was into coke.
Do it off my nuts, man.
Yeah. But I was in the back of the car, and they said, "Darling, how was your day at school? Didn't you have the sort of end of term, meeting that they would give the awards out and everything?" I was like, yeah, I was really pleased, Mum. Oh, the headmaster got me up on the stage and said, "We're proud to announce that you have this." And I said, "Mum, Dad, I've been condemned."
Oh,
commended, darling.
Oh, that's adorable.
Although looking back in it,
correct.
Right, let's go, Taryn.
I've just pulled something from the poll pot. And this
One
is
from the community.
This is from Owenchi.
Heather, love you, Puddin.
She asks, Marvel versus DC.
Marvel, fuck you.
Wow.
What?
How?
You have to, I love DC, I love Image, I love everything comics, but Marvel is always my favourite.
You're sitting
underneath
a
Marvel
poster.
When you say Marvel, fuck you, I assumed that as kind of...
Oh, no, it's Marvel,
DC.
comma,
Fuck you.
fuck you.
I've got to agree as well, because...
There's something about the fact that it's set in the real world.
Yeah, it's just, there's a certain amount, there's less bullshit.
There is. The DC world is...
Batman's wicked and whatnot.
But, the DC actual planet Earth is actually larger than planet Earth. It's 1.7 times the real Earth, because they have to include every city they make up. Like Gotham, Metropolis, all these kind of places. They had to make the world bigger.
Do you know what? I'm just going to be an absolute pedant about it and say neither and say Dark Horse.
I'm going to say Image then, fuck you.
Do you mind if I put my absolute Ludditism and not really full understanding of the comic universe, which it isn't to denigrate it.
Of course you can, you ignorant cunt.
Exactly, there you are. Thank you. I prefer the term naivete, you twat. I was looking up something completely unrelated to comics and found a talk almost similar to TED, but it was over an hour.
Okay.
A talk by a chap called Grant Morrison, who
Grant Morrison, I love.
Who I'm very pleased to know is MBE.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know, and this is my idiocy, sorry, I don't know if he wrote for DC and or Marvel or anything like that, but I've found that if there's ever been a person who in the talk, the talk was on sort of more occult leanings and everything like that, and he was utterly engaging and brilliant, and he had taken a tab of, I think it might have been acid, but it could have been a pill, but he said he starts the talk by screaming at the entire audience and then says, "By the way, in half an hour, I'm going to come up on something, so have fun with that." And he does. And it's absolutely astonishing. And he's an completely fascinating man. And I have to admit that in the roundabout way, I now want to read everything he's done.
Dude, I've got some books. I'll lend you.
Really?
Now, is he DC or Marvel? Because I've been trying to understand. It turns out that as far as film is concerned, Marvel are leaps ahead. But am I right in saying, DC is Batman?
Yeah, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
So DC, it's not like they're failing.
Oh God, no.
You know,
no.
they've done exceptionally well, though.
Don't get me wrong. Like, some of my favourite books are Superman, Batman books. Fucking The Long Halloween is one of the best comic books I've ever read, and that's a Batman book.
The Long Halloween?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it because it's too long. But the world that far beats every other comic book world, in my opinion, is the world of Garth Ennis when he wrote The Boys.
Who's... I don't know who...
Taron, The Boys.
The boys... The boys were pretty cool. That was an interesting...
it was an interesting move.
Was he working for... Was that a Marvel comic?
No. It's neither. It was...
Was that Dark Horse or...
I can't remember. It's a lower... Lower, that's the wrong word. It's a lesser known publisher of comics. The Boys is a comic about... It's basically a move on Alan Moore's Who Watches the Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
So, Who Watches the Watchmen are the Boys. It's a set of people who are employed by the powers that be to maintain order with superheroes.
Oh, no, forgive me, I'm sorry, but was this not... This talk with Grant Morrison that he briefly touched over... Oh, he was...
This is Garth Ennis.
That's the thing I was confused by. Is that Grant Morrison was interviewed by... Who's that wonderful Scottish comic with a big beard that he's read and he's horribly...
very controversial.
And he does all the most controversial stuff. What's his name?
Louis Boyle. Boyle?
No.
Frankie Boyle.
Sorry.
If you have a chance, and please, I'm so sorry
amazing,
about my
it's
with this,
amazing.
but if you have the chance, please look up on YouTube. Frankie Boyle interviewing Grant Morrison, and is absolutely hilarious because they're both Scottish from roughly similar areas.
Well, Garth Ennis, also Scottish.
But I thought
That's
that
what he
he
meant.
did this thing that Grant Morrison did a piece where he's saying that the powers that be go and find kind of municipal workers like bin men and stuff like that, and then go and make them bin
Was
men
he involved in it? Hang on, I'm going to have to look
it
this
could have
up.
been. I don't know. I really don't.
I mean...
No, it's Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson.
Okay. I don't mean. I'm not saying it could have been that, but it's
No, the world of the Boys. So basically, there's a group of people who are basically everyone who gets superpowers. Sorry.
Tom, I will stop you there because I'm pretty sure comic books as a general topic is going to come up at a certain point. So if we stick to
Marvel versus DC.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right.
I have only one thing to say about comics, and seeing as you brought up other comics, I want to bring up my favourite comic. It's also the only comic I've ever read.
There we go for it.
It's it's my favourite comic book hero, and it's large-breasted, wet t-shirt, pneumatic drill girl.
Oh, it's fantastic! It's on the fridge.
Niche.
It's on the fridge.
It's about as niche as you can get.
What was that? That's from
Viz,
that's
is it?
from Viz, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a pull out from Viz. She's a librarian by day, and when some crime's going on, she quickly gets changed into her wet t-shirt and uses her pneumatic drill and jiggles her breasts, and that distracts the criminals, who then crash their car and the police come and arrest them.
Oh, I want that job.
That's how she fights crime.
No, I mean...
Okay, right. Let's fight this out.
The reason I say Marvel, I agree with you, Tom, Marvel. The reason I say that is because for most of the heroes, it takes less of a leap of faith.
It's also the fact that my favourite it took me a long time to get into superheroes because I was reading comics for about 5 years before I got into superheroes. But Men in Tights, it has to be the Avengers, and for me particularly, it had to be the new Avengers, which was Wolverine, Superman, Rowan, yeah, and Ronan. That's the word. Thank you very much. And it was absolutely fantastic. Then I went back and started reading Captain America, and Captain America is my favourite comic book hero, under Hellboy.
Do you know what? Well, Hellboy, I really enjoy. Right, as someone who doesn't actually read any comics, just having the reaping the benefits of the complete nerdgasm that seems to be happening over movies. Very excited to see everything that comes out. Captain America completely falls flat on me. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting to hear that. But, however, when you say Hellboy, I've only just realised, what is Hellboy? Is it DC or Marvel?
Neither.
Neither. Oh, then fuck it, because that wasn't the question. But Hellboy, yeah, Hellboy is amazing. But American American Psycho? No, wait.
Captain America.
Captain America. Look at this plastic bag.
The beauty of Captain America is, although he is patriotic, he's patriotic to the point where he will not do what is wrong. He will do what's right.
Yeah, but
by what
interpreted
is right
in the
for
movies.
American people.
About this stuff.
I
want to know what he thinks about it, because as I see the movies, he's the most boring character of that ilk.
I can completely understand that. He's just not been played out. The Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah.
The second,
They're all very enjoyable.
the second Captain American film that comes out, Bucky, who is Captain America's friend who turns into the Winter Soldier in the second film, he becomes Captain America in the comics.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. And when he becomes Captain America in comics, he doesn't give a fucking shit. He will kill motherfuckers. He will straight up shoot them in the fucking face. Because he's protecting freedom, what is right, and what needs to be done. He is the complete morality of the Marvel Universe.
I'd hate to pick holes in it. Maybe people have, because obviously there's cross-examination of all comics to the nth degree, but has no one else noticed that? I think what Taz raised is just thanks, Taz. What Taz has raised very well is that, you know, the Ultimate Soldier or Captain America or Winter Soldier and all stuff like that is that you basically have a character that is a soldier in essence, acting in relative moral sort of autonomy.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
That the basis of a soldier, at least in relatively modern or contemporaneous terms, is to follow orders regardless.
No, you need to understand, like, Captain America...
But the moral compass is...
The reason why he wanted to fight was he was fighting the fucking Nazis. He was doing what was right.
But please don't take it that I'm being sort of some kind of
please go.
sympathiser, but... I'm not going down into a very risky area of suggesting that at all points in any manifesto or any point of action whatsoever, you have to oppose this one thing because that's what the West has said is correct. Now, there are pockets of the world, not even just pockets, significant superpowers of the world, who have an ambivalence towards the actions of Nazi Germany because they understand certain areas of cultural control or whatever. And I will reiterate, I am not saying this to defend
there
the
are
actions of
stories
Nazi
where
Germany.
that comes up, but he does what's morally right at that time.
What's morally right becomes a rather moot point in certain areas. Because
it's about preserving lives and the freedom of those lives that he preserves.
Well, then I would love to say that Captain America is defending the American principles, which is not about preserving lives, if I'm completely honest with you. That's not very
you haven't read them.
Captain America always protects what he believes to be the American principles.
Do you know what?
Not what are stated as the American principles.
Do you know what? Fuck this over. Let's have a full-on battle. DC versus Marvel, right?
Yes,
We've got to say some
what we were saying,
superheroes and fight them off against each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Superman. He's the ultimate power in DC. Who can we face him off?
I'm Kryptonite. Fuck it.
Fucking good call, sir. Very fucking good call.
The shit out of Superman.
See, I thought...
Like, in the DC universe, the only thing that could really penetrate Superman's skin is Aquaman's trident. However...
Flash.
Aquaman wins once.
Flash beats Superman around the world.
Flash beats everyone. Flash has the ultimate power because before it's happened, he can be there and stop it.
What?
Flash has the ability to be there at the moment before
He's
anything
always
happens.
there for me.
He's such a
stand-up guy.
You're sort of relying on his ability to travel in time because he can move so fast, which is a little bit
not
bullshit.
travel in time. Not travel in time. Be there just before it happens.
Only if he's not doing something else.
No, he's not doing something else because he can move that quick. Well, like
having a particularly expensive wank.
if you're moving that fast, you can have a shit and it'll be 20 miles behind you before you've even realised you've had it.
Rab himself.
Slow down. He just needs to
Flash has the most OP, overpowered power of all superheroes. He does.
This is perhaps why my father's complaint about sci-fi and superhero fiction and stuff like that is that, like, the constant rolling ball of this is, oh, by the way, did we not tell you, but this is the backstory where actually someone has been limited or enhanced with something, is that it has become a situation where anything can effectively happen, and it becomes rather tiring because it's like,
Yeah, no, that's true.
You know
That's
what?
true.
Hal, you are completely right. This is soap opera for nerds. Comic
However,
books are soap opera for nerds. Anything can fucking happen. People can come back from the dead. Like, literally, they can excuse any action
That's a fine
that they
however,
write.
what I
Yes,
quite like about
because
it
all
is
the
that, like,
X-Men have died about 4 times each.
no, the thing is
Yeah,
that,
Wolverine,
right,
fuck, that Dunning died many times. Oh, I'm going to have to censor that.
who's the racist now, young man?
or koalas.
I said it in a loving mood.
The damn
Right.
koala!
That koala has died many fucking times. That's all I'm saying.
Right, the thing is, as someone who's not in this world whatsoever, what Hal was just saying about, what the fuck were you just saying?
The fact that it's basically that.
What way to bottom out
Oh.
your own
The way
statement?
that it's conceptually boundaryless. And
Yes,
that's
yes, is because so many people are, right, okay, these guys have been going on for so long that generations upon generations of writers have contributed to their story. And I find that really inspiring from someone who is not in, it doesn't actually touch that. I do not go into that world whatsoever.
But it's admirable, though.
It's admirable that these people have inspired so much that other people are so engrossed in this world that they
you know
will
what?
take this character and put them in this situation
It
and
is.
give them that power
It
and
is.
give them that
It's
backstory.
It's standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yes,
writers.
do
and
you
it's
know
a
what's
lovely
really
community from
brilliant.
that.
Do you know what's really interesting? Is the only place the only place where you have any real uncertainty is the Joker. Because like
It always come back.
in the comic book world, like there's a general sense of consensus with characters. It's only with the Joker that you get a kind of
random.
Yeah, no one's really prepared to agree on prepared to agree on what's happened to him.
And what the basis of him is.
Yeah, exactly.
But however, but then that's what creates the fear of him. But Tom, am I right to sort of suggest that, like, you know, I want to draw a comparison about certain things. I absolutely accept your point. The way that the beauty of these comics is that it becomes a community spirit basis, and there are people who add to it.
It's very community based.
However, this is not a new thing. Now,
No,
Now, and
not at all.
and the thing that the strongest pieces within literature and classical literature, for instance, which seem to be, by all accounts, set. You know, this is that story. That is what that's doing. Take, for instance, the Iliad and the Odyssey, and you have the Iliad, which is, as it were, set. Homer's Iliad, of course, it's utterly set.
Yeah.
However, then you had Aeschylus, which is effectively one of my favourite writers ever, who made Ajax, which is essentially the kind of sub-story and backstory and this origins of and stuff like that, where the entirety of the play is almost like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead by Stoppard.
It's almost like
what happens to
not
Ajax.
parody, but like
it's
building upon a theme.
It's a B story.
Yeah.
In the sense of, like, to the extent of, like, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead by Stoppard, which is what every time someone exits a scene in the quote of in Hamlet, every time someone exits a room, it's an entrance in another. You know.
Yeah.
However, in Ajax, it's precisely what Aeschylus was attempting to do, in the way that he just expanded on the character of Ajax, because Ajax had been accepted by Homer as this sort of huge character.
Yeah.
And I wish that someone would sort of go back, be it DC or Marvel, to go back to the Iliad and go, what about this? Because they've done it with Thor.
They've done it with a few characters, to be fair. They have.
Thor's not a good example at all because
Sorry, okay, I don't know whether.
Thor's fucking kick-ass. I'm sorry.
he is kick-ass, but
He's so amazing.
there was very definitely a point in his lineage where if he didn't hold on to his hammer for more than like 90 seconds, he reverted back into a crippled lawyer.
What?
Yeah,
That's
dude.
Daredevil.
No, it's not. No, it may not be like, but like, there was a point, dude. Check out your history of Thor. There was a point where if he didn't hold on to his hammer for a certain period of time, it was like either 60 seconds or 90 seconds.
Isn't the hammer called-
He would have reverted it. The hammer's called Mjolnir, but if there was a point like where his great weakness was if his enemy could mean that he didn't hold on to his hammer for this period of time, he wouldn't be Thor anymore.
Is that gold? Is that golden age then, or is that silver age?
I believe they stopped using that in the 70s or 80s. Dude,
Okay,
check out the history on comicvine.com. I'm sorry, Milwenchi. We're not agreeing on Marvel versus DC. So Tom's gonna take something from the hot pot. Tom, what we got?
So one from us, from the hot pot. It's actually from me. Wonderful. All Pokemon names are what you call your privates, and attacks are sex acts. Try it. I'm not lying.
I call my dick Cubone.
I call it Beedrill.
I call its attack Marowak.
I call my attack Sting.
Munchlax.
You know what? You guys debate this and how I'm wrong, and I'm going to pull up a list.
It's not wrong at all.
Of
It's
Pokemon.
completely right. I've agreed with this for a long time. We've been having this conversation for quite a while now, Tom. I think
It's
it was you
phenomenal.
and me that originally found it in a very drunken state.
Well, the way you guys found this is in listening to the full Poker Rap, which is
All 700 odd Pokemon.
It's the Poker Rap based off of all 716 Pokemon.
I'm sorry, but Squirtle,
Drillbur. Grimer.
Bulbasaur. I mean, they are 100% the name of fucking genitals.
Grumpig.
Oh, that's nasty.
So, I mean,
Butterfree. That's a nice
I'll
vagina
char
name.
your Manda.
So I am absolutely lost. I've never.
Kind of am. I used my one word.
I've
I have no more.
never wanted
You
to
weren't
know.
here for the day
how
when
we
I wore my
don't blame you for
Pokemon
not having a
dress.
childhood. It's fine. You're a lot older than us.
That was, okay, the 1800s were my childhood. You guys had 97 or something, and that's just that year. But I have the Crimea to worry about. But to be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea what the living fuck you're talking about.
Let me put it this way. Would you describe your penis as a Cubone?
No.
Oh, you're fucking wrong.
You know why?
You're fucking wrong.
I might do, because of the fact that if you look at the shape of the cube, you've got a stick there and a large ring at the end of it. Okay, maybe.
Thank you very much.
I mean, that's ball and stick. That's all you need. No, I mean,
You need food, water.
sorry, Tom, repeat the question, sir.
Okay, so all Pokemon names are what you call your privates, and all their attacks are sex acts.
I would suggest this becomes more applicable after the original 151.
I've just
I don't know, the
realised.
original
No. The
151 are pretty questionable as well.
The 151 have some good ones. Bulbasaur, motherfucker.
The
Squirtle.
Bulbasaur. What the fuck are you gonna call Bulbasaur?
My bulbous
what's
bellend.
the-
That's what I'm going to fucking call Bulbasaur. Gloom. Gloom.
Drowsy.
It's just sadness. Fuck you, Tom.
But Bulbasaur is surely like a fat vagina after some vigorous sex.
Precisely.
I'm all about calling
You
my
know-
hoo-hoo
Mark Chop, motherfucker. Mark Chop.
You know the fact that the theme tune is "Gotta Catch 'Em All." Is
Yeah,
that
it
not
just-
some kind of
STD.
STD?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're on it.
That's exactly what we were thinking.
that's so true.
I don't know where we can take this from this, because it's a
That's
stated
done. That's
fact.
answered. That's fucking answered.
It's a stated fact that when I make sex, I make an earthquake.
Do you make sex?
I make the sex. I make
sex.
I make
Yeah, but-
the making of the love, and then I make the earthquake.
you.
What's strange is he makes sex in Lithuanian. I don't know how he does it.
Rain.
Manovadas Thomas.
Yeah,
He has an accent
Hello.
during sex.
No, my nether regions are definitely called Clamperl.
Squirt. Oh.
No, Taryn, you're not allowed to comment.
I tried my hardest to come up with exactly the right ice Pokemon.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Cloyster!
I'm just wondering, we may have answered them all, so I'm thinking maybe we should take another topic.
Listeners, just go out there, Watch the how many names is it?
716.
716 names poker rap.
It's a video by College Humor, and they do it quite well. They do it super good, but they do it also very well at the same time.
And you will piss yourself laughing having this knowledge. Thank you.
So the next topic is from
This is from the Pol Pot.
from the Pol Pot
Community.
I'm assuming it's from Dan in Australia.
I assume so. It just says Dan. So
It says facial hair.
Yes, please sign me
Yes.
up. Sign me up.
All of it.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
We are in the room where all the males currently have facial hair.
And I'm not mad about it. Let me face it.
You're what? You're my wife.
I'm not mad about the fact that everyone's got facial hair.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant facial hair.
You're
in
not
general.
mad about it. You're not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it.
You don't like facial hair?
It's a
She's not
positive
upset.
reaction to the fact that people have facial hair. Basically, I feel that the majority, I'm not going to do a sweeping generalization, but the majority of people do improve, to me, as completely selfish voyeur with facial hair.
There's nothing wrong with vanity. Vanity
Exactly.
is the most
Noble of pursuits.
noble sin, was what I was going for.
But
The thing is,
Noble vice.
Yeah.
I
Because you're making everyone else happy because you're pretty.
I never get challenged for like alcohol. Like if I'm buying alcohol somewhere and if I've got facial hair going on, I never get
It's
challenged.
also the fact
for
that
it.
you're approaching 30.
no.
say that.
Because
Beth got
No.
ID'd today.
Yeah, but
I guarantee you, if I shave, I will be challenged. I get challenged every single time.
See,
That's because they think
I've
it's
been
some sort of
told.
vagrant.
Vagrants don't shave.
exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. You're wrong.
I've been told I have a baby face if I don't shave. If
So
I
do
do
I.
shave, sorry.
Baby face.
No.
The
Do you know what? The last time I probably shaved is when I went over to Kells for Christmas.
I don't even remember that happening.
It was when we were living in the
Memorable
bungalow.
Christmas.
That's because he shaved. So
You
didn't realise it was him.
His
you
I have
erased him.
hypno chin. The second I shave it off, I can make anyone do what I want them to do. Oh, what's it?
But then why?
Are you a reverse?
I've
Are you-
all run out of words.
are you
I'm
a-
very sorry, listeners.
Are you a reverse Samson? When you get rid of your beard, you have powers.
No. I think it's the
Oh,
opposite.
shit.
I think it's the opposite. All of his charisma is in his beard. When he shaves it off, he's completely
Yeah, sadly.
forgettable.
Sadly for him, yeah.
I don't have an understanding of necessarily.
Facial hair.
Yeah, no. Women have. There's not really a comparable situation with the whole like facial hair thing, other than the fact that
Fake tits?
I was wondering about this recently. No, I wasn't saying that. There is the luxury, the tax on. Is it sorry to use it? Is it but tampons and sanitary pads and everything like that? There's this kind of tax on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which elevates the cost of it to an nth degree or whatever. Now, I've just recently become aware that you can buy own brand stuff like that, like pads or whatever, for like 25 pence as absolute necessity. Now, as a man, where you can go for a job interview and be utterly judged on whether you've shaved either well or at all or anything like that,
Yeah.
razor blades have, and I will honestly stand by this.
so
No,
expensive.
seriously, did you know the statistics? They are roughly 5,000% higher than their actual build price.
Which is amazing, because when you buy a razor and you get razor blades with it, it's cheaper to do that.
To be
The
fair,
time
tampons to razor blades is not equidistant. It's not.
No. It's a need. It's a need.
That's got to be one of my favourite sentences of all time.
I am by no means suggesting that the necessity of sanitary pads or anything like that is on an equal to having a shaven face. A man can very easily go for a long period of time without shaving. Wrong word to say. Long stretch of time without shaving his face and be fine, and he won't have a bloody mess or whatever.
Except
Oh, dude, stop with the puns! Jesus Christ!
However, sorry to say this, but if you're talking about professional capacity, at least within the West and at least within England, you are still, as a man, judged on whether you have shaved in a certain way if you turn up to a job interview. And that's changing. That's a change. It's great. That's fantastic.
I feel with you and me, you even more so than me, when we turn up to a job interview, we're based on piercings and tattoos.
Yes, absolutely, entirely.
Because
Yeah.
you've got a fucking face full.
Yeah, and also,
and I've got my ears
having,
pierced.
And having long hair as well. It's a lot of thing.
That was one of the reasons why I cut my fucking hair off, was to go for a job interview.
It's one of the reasons that I don't. But however, what I really don't, and I'm skirting,
Squirtle.
so close to the mark with this, in that rather than squirting on Mark, that Dad, leave it alone. But however, when you go for a job interview and you haven't shaved in a certain way, there's a possibility that you may not get that job by some irksome quality of your professionalism. And
it's a sad state of affairs, really, but yeah.
For us, if I have run out of money, or if I'm on JSA or something like that, and I have to go for a job interview, and I'm getting, shall we say, by benefits, £70 a week, or £72 a week, or it's supposed to be, to afford a new set of razors, blades, for the piece that the whatever razor you're using, it is costly.
It's ridiculously expensive.
In all fairness, I think it's similar buying razors as a woman, because I spend a ridiculous amount of money.
Have you ever not got a job interview because you had hairy legs?
Well, I'd wear trousers, which is
then
fair
there you are.
enough.
A man can't wear a balaclava.
Why not?
Yeah, but
I've gone to many job interviews wearing a balaclava.
No,
is there an inverse proportional relationship between facial hair and sex and memorability?
what are you trying to get at? What?
So, like, depending on your gender, you become more memorable you are based on the facial hair you have. So, like, the less facial hair you have, you become less memorable. However, if you are female and you have more facial hair,
You're more
you become
memorable.
more memorable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not in a good way.
Well,
Right, okay,
all publicity is good publicity,
In the
right?
corporation of Taz, we'd all get hired.
Hands in the air. I am a very, very dark-haired female.
Right.
I have to do various things with my face as well as the rest of my body in order to control that, and I have to pay a price for that, such as you do with your, maintaining your beard and things like that.
But it's not on a daily basis.
No, but I think possibly the cost is comparable, because what I spend in a month to get my eyebrows done and all the rest of it.
She still has to spend. Women have to spend so much more on their appearance than men.
I'm sorry, but I'm speaking, and
as a vain male, I would like to say,
as a hugely vain and narcissistic and egotistical male,
as am I.
right?
Yeah.
I have long hair, so the condition of my hair is absolutely. No, I don't just mean because of how I choose to look. I'm saying about how I will turn up to a job interview.
It's presenting yourself,
right?
yeah.
It has to be a certain. My hair, if I left it and I used basics or something like that, it would just be like, just an absolute explosion.
But then
now,
similarly
however,
for
I also
women.
the other things, I pluck my eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
that
Same
has
here.
I
to-
also and I've never gone to a salon to do that. I just do it myself because I can't afford to do so. Right.
Yes.
With my facial hair and everything like that, it's
I never had to pluck my eyebrows.
That's
If
because
I-
you're just gorgeous
if I were
naturally,
to
mate.
bring it back to, let's say that, let's excise that. I mean, the thing is, by the way, I will point out, I'm in agreement with you, and I do think that the loss of a woman and the fact that sanitary pads are taxed wrongly is hideously
No, but you
immoral
keep
and
going
wrong.
back
And
to
they've
something
got
that no one can
makeup,
see.
and they've
But, I
got
mean,
everything else they have to pay
It's
for.
about everything else. It's about
the things that you
used to wear
can
makeup
see.
as well, and I used to wear foundation on
No,
a daily
but-
basis. And I'm sorry, but why is it not that there is a certain area, not all by any means, and there is a diversity of there's a difference there. But what I'm saying is that I used to wear makeup on a daily basis. And transphobia is as it is, and if I was expected to look in a certain way.
Explain transphobia.
Transphobia in the sense of, like, when I used to wear makeup and didn't have much facial hair. Transphobia is essentially the fear or hatred of someone who is, well, in the broadest term, is sort of gender,
Gender obtuse. Almost,
no. Obtuse implies negativity. I would say like gender agnostic. Okay,
Yeah, that's better. That's better. That is much better.
All right, so. And
It makes sense.
but no, sorry, forgive me, Taz, but your reaction to that is
Gender
it's
ambiguous,
absolutely
but,
it is absolutely
It's not.
idiomatic of that concern in the way that how ridiculous that a man would consider himself that, well, I've got to wear makeup because that's what women do. No, there are certain areas of professionalism or society where if a man isn't looking in a certain way, and that might include foundation, that might include eyeliner or something like that, that they're stigmatised against. Now, the thing that what I'm not doing, honestly, and I want to make that clear, I'm not saying that it is equally bad. And I think it is utterly hideous that the access to sanitary pads and everything like that, and this way it's taxed against, is terribly awful. But what I'm saying is that in order to succeed on a professional basis and the expectation of being cleanly shaven, we're paying upwards of £7, £8, £9 for a blade or razor.
But there are a lot of women that have to do similar. There are a lot of women that have to do a lot of facial maintenance before they can leave the house.
I don't think anyone here is arguing the fact that women have an easier time with it.
No,
I don't think anyone.
I don't think that Hal's saying that, but Hal keeps linking the outside presentation of a man to sanitary towels, which is completely
a very different issue.
And
I will absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying that
honestly,
men have to pay less for making themselves presentable. I'm just saying that, like, we also have to make ourselves presentable, but sanitary towels don't come into it. It's not the same thing.
I slap one on my face every time I go for an interview.
This is me!
It would be incredible folly for me to suggest that simply that everything related to that is down to presentation. I also know that, and accept fully and agree that sanitary pads, you wouldn't, contradicting myself in the way that you wouldn't go into a job interview and go, you on your period? Or so, that's not that.
All right. Okay, guys, we've got to get this back to the point.
Facial hair.
Right, then I will say that
it is 100% right.
As a bisexual man,
yes,
it is utterly bizarre. Depending on your proclivities, either way, I regard everyone as bisexual, be it 99.9% or 50.
It's also got to do with your community that you're in. Because I also am bisexual, and a lot of our friends are bisexual.
But the culture that they're in will suffer. That they will, as an individual, will suffer greatly because of stigma and expectation. However, in a relatively equal attraction between men and women, kissing a man with facial hair, the first time I did that was utterly disconcerting, bizarre.
I kind of enjoyed it the first time I did that.
Really? Well, that's interesting.
Andy, facial hair.
That kind of...
I've spent a lot on my beard, an awful lot of time. I mean, I spend thousands of pounds on sanitary towels, trying to shave my beard.
For his
I have to say, Andy has the most impressive beard out of every fucker that has ever been on this podcast.
Are we talking angles or girth?
Everything.
All about
everything.
No, it's all about girth,
beard.
mate.
It's not what you do with it, it's how you shave it.
Every so often we'll turn up and Andy is just clean shaven and it's really
wrong.
disconcerting.
It's fucking wrong.
Stop doing that to us. Why? You love us, right? Stop
But the reason, do you know what? The reason when I shave, I do a clean shave, is because it's the same reason I have a beard. Because
you can't be fucked.
No, I don't like shaving. So if it's got to the point that I've got to have a shave, I'm going to completely clean shave, so I won't have to shave again for ages.
So why did you decide that was a point where you had to shave? Why can't you just not shave?
I don't know, food in my beard. When my mouth starts to get sort of like completely overrun.
No, just cut a hole for your mouth.
No, but that's shaving. Trimming it at all is shaving.
Oh no, I will trim to get it out of my lips.
So will I.
Oh, baby! Oh, fucking love you!
Oh my god, Belle! Boom! Okay, that kind of ends the whole topic, doesn't it?
So there we go.
Facial hair.
Dan, facial hair, you basically got to trim it to get out your lips. And every other kind of hair you got, alright, mate? Just take that into consideration.
It annoys me that I should be in any way put off by female facial hair, because I'm not put off by it in men, so I don't see why I should be put off by it in women.
No, but you're saying you're annoyed by that, are you, or are you not? Are you telling you? Is someone telling you to be annoyed?
Let me just say, when it comes to the point, I've never been put off by facial hair on a woman.
Really, never.
When it comes to the point where I'm going to get laid, no.
To be fair, the one time I've had to point this out to a woman was when I was driving home.
Pointed it. Okay, That's when you're not getting laid. If you're pointing it out to a woman.
Give me a second to tell the story, and you'll realise how I was in no way ever getting laid anyway. Because I was driving back from somewhere with my mother. I told her, "Oh, you got a couple of really long hairs on your chin."
Oh my god! What's wrong with you?
She told me to fuck off.
Damn right. Damn fucking skippy, man.
Exactly the right position to take on it.
No, if you're
Because it doesn't matter. Like hair, like facial hair doesn't. It's not.
Right, okay.
It's not a thing.
However,
if you're pointing that out to your mum and it's just you and your mum having a conversation, that's like someone pointing out that they've got snot on their face.
no. Right.
Yeah, well,
No, it's
it's worse
not.
than that.
It's
Actually-
actually not.
Especially
It's
when...
worse, but it's in the same vein.
Definitely, yeah.
Actually, Andy's completely right with that statement. It's just there's the stigma attached that makes
Yes,
it a
it
lot
is the
more
stigma.
powerful.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be. That shouldn't be a stigma. Because fucking people grow hair.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but I wouldn't
the
sit there-
reason people shape their hair is because they don't like the way it looks. Now, why they don't like the way it looks is actually irrelevant.
Yeah, you
They don't
wouldn't
like the
sit
way it
there.
No. The only reason I ever shave is because when it gets to
that's you.
when it gets to a certain point, it itches. So I've got to make it shorter.
That's you.
I'm a vain animal. I am 100%.
Yeah, but you're... Yeah.
vain.
Oh, yeah, but you're hot.
It takes effort to look this
From
fucking
his
gorgeous.
sister.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, but you're hot.
Come on, right back at her. She's fucking gorgeous. Are you fucking kidding me? There's some good fucking genes right there.
Yeah, there is.
Gains.
There's nothing wrong with shaping the facial hair or trimming the facial hair or whatever. It's all about if you're
There's clearly
fucking
something- there's
happy.
clearly something wrong
if
with
something
shaving the
makes
facial
you
hair.
fucking happy, fucking do it.
Especially seen as like, okay, so if you...
But understand why you do it.
Yes,
that's
because
the
it makes
important
you
thing.
happy.
I am vain. I am happy when I look this particular
But
way.
why does that make you happy? Like,
Because
ultimately,
I like looking
the
good.
reason I trimmed down my facial, the reason I trimmed down my body hair, is because it makes it quicker to dry once I get out of the
Taz,
shower.
the thing is,
you.
but Taz,
That's the only reason I
You are
shave.
completely utilitarian
Taz.
with your hair.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. I agree, Taz. Everyone wishes they were with you. Everyone wishes they could disconnect.
He's not that good looking. Fuck
No.
no.
Everyone wishes.
comfortable enough in
Everyone wishes
themselves.
that they could disconnect that much, that it was just practical, and it's not. There are so many things that hold you on to the way that you look. I have seen people cry because someone cut their hair wrong and it looks completely the same to me, but I've watched them cry because that is the way they represent themselves. So we wish we could be
you know what?
on your level, and it's not that way because the way that you represent yourself to
I have an
everyone else-
amazing person in our lives, Mart.
Oh,
He looked gorgeous.
He looks
when he
gorgeous
had short
most of the
hair,
time.
and he looks gorgeous now. He's got long hair and
Yeah,
a
and a
massive
fucking
fucking
massive
beard.
beard, yeah.
Like that beard envelops him.
that beard should have its own Twitter account, seriously.
He's fucking sexy no matter what he fucking does,
Gorgeous.
and I am jealous of that cunt.
If you're ever trolled by a haircut, you need to focus on.
Right, okay. So basically you're cutting out a load of people. No. I know what you're about to say. You're saying that it's not important. It's not important. We all know it's not important, but we still hold on to that because we're fucking weak and we're people and we think about ourselves too much. No one else can see the things that we hate about ourselves. So thank fuck you can't see anything that is impractical. We wish we were at that level.
Yeah.
But we
So-
can't.
I completely get that.
We can't. We see things.
Stop reading magazines.
No, we don't.
We don't
read
get
it.
it.
Stop listening to people.
It's
Read
personal.
magazines.
It's personal pride. It's personal.
Stop taking your opinion of yourself based off what other people feel
How
of you.
that was the case.
No.
Me and Kel wouldn't
Be
be calorie
practical with
counting.
who you are.
We wouldn't be
I'm married
worried
to
about
Hal.
that kind of stuff.
Hal thinks I'm massively attractive. It could be one day I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I think I'm a fucking troll. Hal will come up to me and tell me how lovely I
How
am. And I
doesn't
don't
think you're
understand it.
How
That's 'cause
doesn't
you're a
think
skinny
you're
bitch.
attractive because of how you look? How thinks you're attractive because of who you are?
But
I'm
then,
not saying that's
then
completely
what
true.
do you do for the women who
it's-
don't have Hal?
It's an holistic
the women who are single.
All right,
who don't have
guys,
that.
guys, we are
Facial
really
hair.
Right,
shouting
okay.
at each other about stuff that doesn't matter.
Andy, please.
No.
Read that
No.
thing that you've just
No.
pulled out the top.
I just want to know one thing. The
Yeah,
girls
go
are in
for
this
it, man.
room. Facial hair.
Yes.
Without
Yeah, facial hair.
without your
all of
partners
the facial
listening.
hair.
Yes or no?
Facial hair.
Oh
all of
yes.
Right. These two girls say yes.
it. Boom.
I'm gonna get fucking high
We just high
five
fived over the table.
because I agree.
Can I be
Men
difficult
with
and say
facial
no?
hair
Yeah.
are gorgeous.
Can I say no?
I say
That's
yes.
fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean,
Hal
I do
says
like
no
men
because
without
he-
facial hair. So
He prefers men without facial
I say
hair.
yes because
both.
when I shave properly, I get challenged on alcohol, and that's unacceptable.
oh, that's definitely unacceptable. Someone getting in the way of you getting fucking booze.
That
Fuck them.
fuck
them.
fucking right in the face.
I don't find.
Andy,
No, we need to go to the next
talk
topic.
about the topic that you just picked.
All right, we got a real discussion point here.
What pot's it from? Sorry.
So it's from the
Whole pot.
Hot pot.
Hot Pot.
One from
and,
us.
And it says musical interlude.
Wonderful! Finally!
Whoa.
This track is from Versus Ursus. I will edit in the name of the track later. Thank you very much.
Love.
Hello, this is Tom from the future. Hey, I know everything that's going to happen to you. It's amazing. You're going to listen to Versus Ursus, and this track is called Plagiarism. Very good friends of ours. Make sure you give them a listen. If you like what you hear, why don't you head over to their Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Versus Ursus. That's spelled VERSUSURSUS. Thank you very much, guys, for letting us play this.
Too
I liked the bit where they did the solo with the compressed air horn. I thought that was really like...
Yeah, it was proper dancehall at that point. It was
No.
dagger your woman, dagger that bitch.
But to be honest with you, it just spoke to me on a level that I thought was French.
And
Dagger.
there was that solo. There was like the musical equivalent of like throwing point with hedgehogs. It was just fucking nailed it.
Coating marsupials in a very, very yeasty extract.
Thank you very much, Matt, who is our brother from another mother. John as well. Love you, dude.
What's the other?
John!
Is it sister from another mister? Is that the other one?
Sister from another mister, sibling from another.
We're ever so street.
Whatever.
Gremlin?
Thank you very much, boys from Versus Ursus. Please go to their website.
Hat.
For Beth.
Okay, we're going to have one from the community.
From the Pol Pot.
Pol Pot, motherfucker.
I chose the littlest one.
Oh, the littlest topic.
Sorry.
From Dave.
Dave, love you, mate.
Which Dave?
I don't know. Read the topic. You always do this to me. I don't know the topic.
Then why are you
from a
throwing
name.
your love without knowing who it is?
He loves all Daves.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying Dave.
Right, okay. Oh, shit.
Shit, I'm in trouble.
No, I'm trying to read it. The Dunning Kruger effect in Joy also came with a whiskey recommendation.
Okay, so maybe we better look this up then.
The Dunning Kruger effect. Is that what it says? The Dunning Kruger effect.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. I have no fucking idea what it
This
means.
man also supplied us with a recommendation to buy a whiskey. So
But did he buy it for us?
Now,
What? No one's going to pay money for this shit.
I think you're fine.
I must just admit that this. All I'm saying is it rings a bell, but the
Is anyone
Dunning-Kruger
looking this
effect.
up?
Yeah, no.
No.
I'm on it.
The Dunning-Kruger effect.
Got it.
Am I right in thinking that that's? It's
Cognitive bias,
I was gonna say,
wherein
but-
unskilled individuals suffer from illusory superiority.
It's basically confirmation bias principles. In the sense
okay.
of, like, if you're cherry picking something that you.
So it's basically believing yourself to be exemplary.
sorry, Cal, can you
not
read it
necessarily-
again?
It's not necessarily the self. It's
Please do.
it's more along the lines of like the confirmation bias, like the Dunning Kruger effect, which would be it triggered a recognition, but by no means an understanding. Which was that the Dunning Kruger effect could be a confirmation bias principle in that if you're capable of listening to a certain argument, you're able to cherry pick points from it to defend your own. And am I right within that? Can you?
So let's just
Shall we
say
have a wiki description of it? Shall we
Dave
have
has basically satired our entire podcast
Oh, clever.
because we've all got our
that
opinions.
would seem to be the point.
We've all got our opinions, and we all believe we're right because we've listened to everyone else's arguments and cherry picked what we like and used that in our own bias.
To use this phrase for a second time in 2 podcasts, we've stumbled across the hubris, which we will fall over, and that we believe we can talk about any subjects.
everyone?
Dave, let's put it this way: you're testing us.
The Dunning-Kruger effect is the cognitive bias wherein skilled individuals suffer from illusory superiority, mistakenly assessing their ability to be much higher than that which is accurate. The bias is attributed to
Megalomania.
metacognitive.
I'm
I'm so sorry, Dave.
Let me
I've
read
drunk
this.
so much
Dave.
whiskey right now.
Dave, let's put it this way: there's one shot left in the bottle.
Would you like me to read
How?
this?
How? Read the entirety.
The Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias wherein unskilled individuals suffer from illusory superiority, mistakenly assessing their ability to be much higher than is accurate. This bias is attributed to a metacognitive inability of the unskilled to recognize their ineptitude. Conversely, highly skilled individuals tend to underestimate their relative competence, erroneously assuming that tasks which are easy for them are also easy for others.
Okay.
I like the fact that it had the word erroneous in.
I thank you for picking up on that. I was almost going to be like, but
That was one of the favourite words.
I will take this personally because the thing is, Dave. If it were indeed Dave Rule, which it very much was,
I
Dave
believe
has-
so, but I'm not sure.
Dave has absolutely owned me on a very fine few points that he
He's
and
a
I were
clever
having.
motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. And he and I were having a rather heated debate on social media, and he accused me of projecting over a certain issue.
Was it baby metal?
No, it really very much wasn't.
Because we're well right.
It very much wasn't that. So, Dave has a very, very cohesive understanding of a lot of contemporary psychology and sort of psychiatric sort of action and everything. And he accused me fantastically of projecting over a certain issue. And in all in gratitude towards him, his suggestion towards that has changed the way that I converse with people on social media, in saying that, I have obviously ideas about people and will suggest that they are doing a certain thing, but it's based entirely on my own proclivities and suggestions that or bias.
Yeah.
Which I think is perhaps what he's kind of suggesting, in the way that if you're going to argue with someone, you'll be convinced that let me just stop you there, you're just going to say this. No, I'm not. And you don't know that I'm going to say that. And that's precisely what Dave did. And that was absolutely dead on. Spot on accurate. I think that in the process of arguing with someone, it's very easy to sort of, personally suggest that let me just stop you there, you're going to say this. And you will never, ever, ever know what someone's going to say.
But you did it earlier.
The really interesting thing is this is a cognitive bias that could be very easily confused with. It's that law that everyone gets kind of promoted to their level of incompetence, and that's something.
I would have. Sorry to cut you off there, and I'm doing exactly what he's describing. But the only thing
Of course you are.
Yeah, of course I am. But what I would suggest is that my biggest concern with something like that is that when you're arguing with someone, it is so unbelievably easy to resort to ad hominem, to attack someone on the basis of what their personality is, rather what you understand of their personality, rather than their actual.
I feel if you're arguing your points, surely you do come into the argument with a bias.
Of course you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be arguing. However, what I'm saying is more that what you're doing to. I mean, I'd say, of course, you're absolutely right in the sense. I don't mean to say,
but it's the ignorance in the argument and not accepting that you may be wrong.
It is so unbelievably easy to approach an argument in that basis from rhetoric, and also it's unbelievably easy to apply rhetoric to your opponent, because if you know them and go, listen, typical you're going to say this next.
Plunge.
Right. Yeah.
I basically feel like, Dave, you are completely right. This exists, and
I'm a large exponent.
We're not going to argue that it doesn't exist, because then that would disprove the entire statement.
However, he is very much right, because
you cunt, Taron! You finished the whiskey.
Yeah, that's the first time we finished a whiskey during a shoot.
There we go.
For those
viewers, listen.
For those who don't know, Dave is a very prescient and wise person when it comes down to individual psychology.
And also in the act of dance.
Yes, that's right, entirely true.
Yeah.
But however, what he's raising here is a very fine point in the sense of when we have a dispute in this group, it's possible that they may have... It's possible that they... we may anticipate someone's response. And that in itself is a presupposition of reason, and that's wrong, because you can't presuppose that someone's going to say something and that's what their basis is, because you don't know their individual basis for it. And that really, if I'm wrong, I'm not sure, but it is the basis of rhetoric. And I think what Dave is suggesting is something that he himself has proven that I've done in the past. And he's very right. But however, may I just point out that whilst he's suggesting that that's an issue, we were arguing over Marvel versus DC. And when you come to rhetoric and presupposition and confirmation bias, that's
It's purely objective at that point. So
you're either wrong or right.
I have a feeling that the fact we finished the bottle of whiskey with 2 hours into the recording, Dave, whatever point you were trying to get across,
You win.
You fucking win. We are not up to arguing anything right now. So with that, I'm going to push it on to the next topic. Right.
You got a topic? Where's it from?
We have a topic from the Hot Pot, so one from us. Not sure who it's from, but it's actually quite a fun one. Who would win in a fight? Batman or Lara Croft?
Me.
Oh, fuck!
Batman.
No, Lara Croft.
Batman.
Right, Taz, I'm with you. Lara Croft.
No, I'm with Lara Croft.
Batman.
Lara Croft.
Batman.
Lara Croft.
Batman.
Lara Croft.
Bat fucking man. Bat fucking man.
Lara Croft.
Batman. Motherfucker has expendable income and unlimited
fuck
knowledge.
There's no way he is the judiciary on this.
I think so.
Andy?
I've read some things. Yeah.
Batman, Lara Croft.
We'll go around the table. Should we go around the table? Let's just get everyone's opinion
But
first.
surely you've got to have like a home and away match.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Lara Croft versus Batman.
Yeah. Right. So
In a temple.
Oh my god, please tell me she skins.
Okay. Let's say
Fact of the matter is,
Batman in Gotham, Lara Croft in an Aztec temple somewhere.
In me. I'm serious, please sign me up.
Gorgeous.
fact
Go
of
for
the
it, Andy.
matter is,
Who do you think?
I don't know. See, I think that like Batman and Lara Croft. I think Lara Croft could hold her own in Gotham, but I think that Batman would struggle in an underwater scene in Lara Croft.
Oh, we'll have to swim
I
forever.
have seen Lara Croft struggle many times because that drowning animation is just beautiful.
watching
the amount of times I've made
so
Lara
much
Croft
watching
drown.
Tom.
The amount of times.
Watching Diola play Lara Croft and playing every fight scene through in every permutation just to see all of the deaths.
It is actually one of the Easter eggs almost for a Lara Croft
Well, yeah,
game.
that's actually what it was, because you could do the thing where she comes out of the pool and does a handstand. Do you remember that?
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Is this all part of the game? Or-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beth,
I
Beth,
honestly
The
thought
game
you
of
meant a
life.
film. Or
Beth?
Just,
Come on, your opinion, Batman or Lara Croft?
I love Batman. Batman's my favourite superhero, but Lara Croft is more than a superhero. It's
Oh,
fucking Jolie.
Did you watch the second film? It was unwatchable.
No, I own it.
Are you kidding? That is
I
the
own it and I
only
love
film-
it.
How was your
That is the
thoughts
only
there?
film I've sat down to watch on DVD and not be able to finish it.
Oh, you need to watch more Seth Rogen, man.
I literally got to the scene where she was in a lycra suit and then I tuned out and turned off the DVD.
You tuned out and didn't wank. What's wrong with you?
I put on Gia.
Ah, old school.
Old school naked Angelina Jolie.
Sorry, how? Go
How?
for it.
Go on.
I am not a big comic head.
Yeah.
I read an amazing. Correct me, please. Is it the What If thing or whatever? That if Superman were and the one I read was if Superman had landed in Russia and he was
Red
a sort
Sun.
of, thank you very much. And that
That's the second time we've had that
It
exact
is.
same sentence.
Very much. Yeah. So when he does that, Batman also appears as this kind of diffident character and everything. And as I understand
he's
it, and,
brilliant in that comic because he's in a fucking like exoskeleton almost.
Right. But please, entertain me here. But apparently, as I understand it, Batman, he doesn't have superpowers. He's just phenomenally hard
Yeah.
and sort of like
Yeah.
tries to think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Batman was actually in an exoskeleton in Kingdom Come, not Red Sun.
Yeah, sorry. I
Beg your pardon.
Correct myself.
But, however, if you're talking about Batman versus Lara Croft, my own, and slay me for this, but the only knowledge I have of Lara Croft is the films.
Holy crap.
And
The sandwich between
So-
Batman and Lara
and
Croft.
So since then, I have to admit that I believe that the winner would be Batman.
okay,
Because
perfect.
he's very hard and doesn't
That's
stop.
just
so
the shape of my heart.
Right, Taryn, come on.
So, Lara Croft and Batman are very similar as an entity. However,
Fuck off, but yeah, alright. Both rich, but that's it.
Lara Croft is the one that will kill.
Lara Croft's got a
doesn't
life
mean
together.
anything.
Batman's
It means
matters.
massively.
I'm sorry, what are we talking about? Like, excavating remains or fighting crime?
It's not just excavating remains, though. It's excavating. Excavating? That's not even a word.
Excavating.
Excavating.
Salivating
It's not even
remains.
just that. It's Lara Croft.
I was
will-
taking pictures of me and I'm so poised.
Lara Croft will do away with Batman.
Oh yeah, she would, and she'd make a lot of money with
Go on,
the film.
Kel. Go on, Kel.
I don't know Lara Croft very well, aside from running around temples. And
That's what she does.
yeah, basically. But I'm going to go on a purely sexist line here. Batman is a bloke, right? Bloke ain't going to hit a woman, so Lara Croft.
Yeah.
How many times has Batman hit fucking Harley? Fuck you all. Batman.
Lara Croft
like a
wins.
marine or a
There
seal or
is an
something.
argument in comic books that is, given enough time, Batman will beat everything. Because he has unlimited income, He has money out the wazoo.
Sorry, what's...
He has the scientific brain to be able to turn his brain towards any problem, and we will come out with a solution.
A similar argument is that given enough time,
Given a
Batman
fight-
will destroy himself.
Given enough time,
Batman will no longer
will
be
beat
the Batman.
everything.
It's no. He
Yeah,
will
but
become.
whether-
He will become a cipher of his own creation.
Well, that's almost Kingdom Come, to be honest. But
Lara Croft is simple. She works towards her ideal, and then she goes for
Fuck
it, and
you
she
all.
wins. She always wins. Batman has a thing about not killing people. Lara Croft
why
will.
do you need to kill people? Why?
Sorry?
You fucking psycho.
Why? Because
Why?
we're talking about Lara Croft versus Batman. Lara Croft will win. Because Batman will die, Lara Croft won't.
Well, I'm right, you're wrong. That's all I care about.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, hang on a second. Batman is the superhero, right? Whereas Lara Croft is Lara
Just
Croft.
some
She's
woman.
she's the same.
No.
Whether she's
They are both just human.
No. Batman is he's on dark rooftops and fighting whatever.
Yeah, but he's also
whereas
just
Bruce Wayne is walking around street clothes. Whereas Lara Croft is street clothes. If Batman met Lara Croft, he'd meet her at an
I
auction
wish she
and
was
she'd
no
own.
clothes.
To be selling, buying. No, this is the thing. They're both
Lara
human.
Croft wins.
They're both human. No, fuck off.
All situations, Lara Croft wins.
Who votes for Lara Croft?
That's 4-2.
Lara Croft wins.
Lara Croft
I've been
wins.
beaten down by Democratic vote, but I'm still fucking correct. And this is my
you're not. No, you're
podcast. I pay for the fucking hosting. I am right.
What was Dave's topic?
Who gives a shit? I'm right.
Cool, are we going to finish it there? We're going to do another quick one.
Another quick one, go on.
What? Oh, that means it comes from Pol Pot. No, wait.
Yep,
Community.
it all comes from Pol Pot.
One from the community.
Alright, cool, let's do this one answer each.
I've enjoyed my time.
It's been a good night. Also, I have to say, Monkey Shoulder, the fact we finished it during the podcast shows how nice
That's
it
the
was.
first time we finished the whiskey
It was a
during the
very
podcast.
nice whiskey.
Dan
Blended Scotch malt.
asks, the appendix.
I'm worried about mine because people die from it just bursting, and it's not even a
Not so much nowadays.
Mine's gone.
what?
Have you had
Oh,
an
you've had it. God.
you had
I nearly
appendicitis?
died.
Oh, Kel, tell us your story.
Exactly. So you always nearly die, and then you have to have it out. That's scary to me.
Guys, settle down. Kel, tell us your
Right.
story.
I had 3 days of vomiting at work, and then I was rushed to hospital. I was asked on 7 occasions whether I was pregnant. I told them
Maybe.
I was not. And eventually, they admitted me on the Friday evening straight from work. I had the operation on the Saturday, which was supposed to be keyhole, but I have a scar on my side that is massive, which shows it wasn't keyhole, so something obviously went wrong somewhere along the way. And after I got out of the hospital, at the hospital, I got discharged because I was wandering around the ward bored on the Sunday.
That sounds like you, to be fair.
And they couldn't deal with me anymore, and they tried to send me home without my parents, and I was 16 at the time. No, 17 at the time, and I demanded they called my parents. They wouldn't. It was a whole fiasco. But yeah, mine's gone.
Did you keep it?
I didn't get the option to keep it. I would have.
I'd love that.
If they'd have offered me it, I'd have kept it. But I've got this massive scar to show that it's gone.
So, Kel, just as a close, please tell all the audience at home what it feels like to have your appendix just explode.
Mine did not explode, but it was pretty close, and it was not fun. I was in so much pain.
Was it fever?
It was. No, I don't know that it was fever. It was lots and lots of vomiting. I remember going to work after eating spaghetti hoops, and all I did was vomit up spaghetti hoops for the entire shift, and I was working bar at the time, so it was very difficult during an interval when you've got a bar full of people to just be running to a bucket.
You vomited alphabet spaghetti.
Help me!
Could you imagine if you vomited up alphabetic spaghetti and it just said dying of appendicitis just on the floor?
Yeah, except it's spelt wrong, so they didn't understand.
Appendicitis bar.
I was really concerned, though, being a 17-year-old female, how many times when I was admitted into A&E, they asked me whether I was pregnant or I could be pregnant.
Did you look pregnant?
No. Shut up. It nearly burst and I nearly died because they were fucking about for 7 hours asking me if I was pregnant.
That is really strange.
Really bad.
You know, you were talking earlier about how
Occam's razor, though. They're going to look for the most obvious answer.
Shut up.
You know, you were talking earlier about how you, destroy meat whenever you cook it.
Oh yeah, I cook it too much because I feel like I'm worried about catching something from uncooked meat.
But isn't that what the appendix is for? Like, the appendix is for digesting it.
Well, to be fair,
it's for processing grass.
The whole of the intestine.
Oh, is it grass? I thought it was like raw meat.
It's the whole of the intestine.
It's a common misconception that the appendix is there only to process grass. And I hope that the listeners will correct me here, but there's over proclivities of chlorophyll, and grass contains massive amounts of chlorophyll. And so,
are you a cow, Kel? Are you eating massive fields?
Clarify for you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in summation, if you ever
get off me! Don't try and hug me now you've said that.
If you ever go to the hospital and the doctors ask you, "Are you pregnant?" punch them in the face and just say, "Appendix." This has been the Pot Topic Podcast.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to stop you guys right there. I need some outro music.
Oh,
go on, Taryn. This is actually episode 007.
No. Let's do some Bond in some moo noise.
Share and tell a friend about how amazing this podcast is, despite the fact this outro music is kind of lacking.
Skyfall!
Come and view the website at pottopicpodcast.com. sign up to the newsletter with regular updates about what we're up to and what we can possibly be doing in the future. Follow us on Twitter at pottopicpodcast.com. Search us on Facebook and Tumblr. Pot Topic Podcast. That's all you need to type in, my friends. Hashtag your photos. Hashtag Pot Topic Podcast, and they will appear on our Instagram community wall on the website pottopicpodcast.com. Please, please, please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Like the video on YouTube, and fuck SoundCloud because they're an expensive piece of wank. Thank you very much to all the submitters of topics this episode, and we will see you next time on Topic Podcast. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Music used in this episode was Meatball Parade by Kevin MacLeod from Compotech.com. It's licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Please see the MP3 comment tag or show notes on pottopicpodcast.com for more information.
Right, before we start recording, let's decide who's going to start.
Well, Tom does. What?
Well, as I'm last to be introduced, but actually, I always do. You got it. You got it. You take the hot pot. You.
Hello and welcome to the Hot Topic Podcast. I'm your host, Tom.
Is that...
No, you're not.
No, I'm your host, Tom.
Right.
No, I am your host, Tom.
And I'm special guest Spartacus. Welcome to Pot Topic Podcast 007.
Unique as a sunflower.
Is it 007?
It is 007. Fucking hell, the cluckings are back.
That's my attempt at goat.
On this podcast, we looked at like to do Barnard noises in the set theme. Barnard noises.
Barnard?
Every barnyard is unwell.
I'm going to start again. That's a beautiful blue
I think it's golden, mate.
Golden chicken. James and the giant beans.
Sorry, was that James and the Giant Gooch?
Beans.
That would be very fucking different. James and the Giant Gooch.
I can't find either of them. All there is gooch.
I need to make a note for whimsy, don't I?
We now have the whimsy corner.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna make. I was just gonna take a bit of cardboard that was just like a big exclamation mark with "Shut up, cunts" on it. So that when someone actually wanted to speak, when everyone else was just talking bollocks, they could just go.
Problem is, Taz, we need it, not you.
Yeah.
You're sharing a microphone.
I was gonna make it for you.